guys, what's up? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Hi, my name's Rage Mage, and sometimes I stream stuff. Sometimes I forget to mute things in other tabs, and that's a thing that happens. Good to see you guys. Welcome to the show. My name's Rage. We are hanging out. We're going to play some Fate of the Exocortex. Good to see you, Lord Elfric. Good to see you, Arcarian. How you guys doing tonight? I'm excited. We're about to die. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be great. I mean, what could go wrong, right? No, we're going to get our ass kicked. We're surrounded by mining robots that are awful. There's an attack helicopter outside. There are bits dropping on my face, and, you know, things are just bad everywhere. Things are just, it's terrible. Thanks for the bit, man. The single bit. The penny of shame. Just chucking a penny in my face. Anyway. It's so screwed, says Thessaly. She's so right. Yeah, we are so screwed. But I'm still having fun. Because I love the people I'm playing with, and it's a great fucking game. So, thank you all for joining us. A little bit of a thing before we start this off. Most sound effects are muted. In fact, the bits are supposed to be muted, but apparently I don't know. Whatever. I give up. Bits are supposed to be muted too, but whatever. We're gonna deal with it. So if you are a Patreon or a GameWisp subscriber of the tier that is allowed to have a sound effect for yourself, please don't be offended. It will not be on at this time. This is supposed to be an interactive game as well. So if you see something happening in the game that you like and can really affect our characters, and you have some really good ideas about how you can enhance the game, feel free to send me a message in chat, and I will try to make sure to relay that to the game runner here, Mr. Glasswalker Mars, because he's a good guy and he knows what he's doing. He's all right for a white dude. Yeah, I think that's I've jibber jabbered long enough about things that I don't know about, and I'm gonna move on now and just get this game started. So hopefully you guys are cool with that, and we'll see you in just a moment. Let's make this happen.
I'm also going to experiment a little bit with...
I hear experimenting is good.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Please continue. What were you experimenting with?
Moving the zoom window around so I could look at people while I talk to them. Super exciting stuff. High tech.
Yeah, nailed it. Anyway, guys, we're ready to go. Did all my intros, said hello. Now it's your turn.
Fantastic. Greetings, life forms. My name is James Marston, and I will be running this game tonight. We're running Fate Accelerated in a cyberpunk setting. We're calling it Fate of the Exocortex. We're kind of picking up right at the climax of last session. The team has infiltrated a black site for one of the corporations and has discovered that the black site was also being assaulted by another corporation. There's two assaults kind of came to a head. As they made their way into the inner reaches of the black site, they found a AI that had been stalking them, had found them here and made things much more dangerous for them. They also found out that the cloning facility at the heart of the black site that they were trying to infiltrate was actually filled with clones of their missing team member, which is not something they expected, and they kind of responded by destroying everything in sight. And they're at the edge of trying to escape the facility and get back out into the Boss Wash Metroplex. Did you go into compels at all, Rage?
I mentioned it vaguely. You could probably expound on it a bit.
Okay. So one of the things you can do in this game is you can compel characters. And what that means is, based on their aspects, which are on their character sheet or specific things about those characters, you can basically kind of challenge them, and you can say, it makes sense because of this part of your character that this really bad thing would happen. And they can accept that and then get what's called a fate point from it. Or they can say no and pay me a fate point to avoid that bad thing. Usually, me and the other players are the only ones coming up with those bad things for each other. But we're going to open up the floor to everybody to try and come up with some bad things to happen to people.
Such a great idea.
So I'm going to throw out, compels usually look like this, and I put it in the Twitch chat. They're decision compels or event compels. So you can say it makes sense that because you are super curious, that you might take a risk to learn something that would put you at a huge disadvantage otherwise. And if they accept the fate point, their character makes that decision. The second type of compel is an event compel, and that is, it makes sense that because you are tragically unlucky all the time, that this really bad thing would just happen to you right now. And the person would say, oh yeah, that does make sense, and would take the fate point, and that bad thing would happen. So if you have ideas for either of those things, let Rage know, and he'll try to pass that on to me. Something I came up with but haven't had a chance to talk to Rage about is, in dire straits, if we wanted to have our listeners pay a certain number of tacos to generate spontaneously a fate point, I'd be okay with that, but it would have to be kind of expensive on the taco front.
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I'll let James.
Help us.
James determine that amount.
I don't know. I don't know what the amount would be. This is where we needed to talk about it, I guess.
Just roll a die and make it big.
That's what I will try to do.
Nice.
So what I'd like to do to start is to go around and introduce our characters and talk about their trouble, which is their aspect that is most easily compelled. So which of my lovely players would like to go first?
Sebastian.
So my name's Nate. I'm playing right this minute I'm playing Sebastian Chrome. My next character will be a thief. And Sebastian is a good guy in a really crappy world. He's also the man of 1,000 faces. He has a mechanical inlay within his face that lets him change how he looks at a drop of a hat. Except, what with the attack helicopter we're running from and all, that's been shot. He's been shot all over. He's bleeding awfully from big wounds. Red Wizard needs food badly. And he's currently in an elevator headed down to the parking garage. He's in the parking garage.
He's in a car, a blue Jetta.
He's in a car, a blue Jetta, preparing to try to get away. So, I mean, if you like Sebastian, maybe don't fuck with him tonight.
The fun part for me is that while you say escaping, what you actually did was trying to get out of there while making as much noise as possible to make sure that the attack helicopter was paying attention.
Yeah. Or that.
Okay.
Shut up.
Yeah,
cool.
see, the Game Master cheats and he rewatches the last episode, so...
I do. All right, so that's Sebastian Chrome. And another sort of aspect that is on each character, or can be on each character, is called the consequence. And between stress and consequences, that's sort of like the hit points for the character. If all your stress is gone, you're closer to being taken out. And each hit after that gives your character a negative consequence, a negative aspect that can be used against you. And right now, Sebastian Chrome, I think, has at least one, right?
Yeah. At least one. I don't have anything checked off here. I'm going to put it at 2 because he's been shot in the face. We'll just leave it there because I don't remember where it was.
Okay. You do have a, like as you described, you were been shot by a attack helicopter, and you are pretty badly shot up and banged up at this point.
Yeah. Boy, he's bad. He's bad.
All right. Who's next?
I'll go.
Okay.
I'm Saren. I'm playing Jax. She's a former corporate PR person turned sort of rogue media person, so out, taking stories to the people kind of thing. Her trouble is curiosity killed the cat, in pursuit of a good story. Can't really pass up finding out what's behind that door. So likewise, I have been shot a lot, though in my case by a mining robot, so that's fun. But great B-roll footage, so that's going to be on my reel forever now.
Yep, you're hurt so bad that you can't show it on TV. And you, when last we left, had just slid into the hole that the mining robot cut in the floor and dropped into the floor below. So you're actually out of the kind of the main swirl of combat here, and are in relative safety of the next floor down. All right. Who wants to go next, J5 or Lee?
Go Lee.
Go Lee.
And I'm playing Lee Vansky, who is a rogue AR artist, having once worked for corporations, decided to do shit, and now works actively to remind the people of their humanity while making a lot of loud, brightly colored social commentary. Lee's deal is how could I resist? Lee has a hard time not leaving her mark, or not having the last word, or not causing just that little bit of extra trouble on the way out. I'm also suffering from helicopter a little, though not as badly as Sebastian.
They could use me for a pencil.
I think we've all been afflicted with helicopter.
Yeah, it was a bad day to fight a helicopter.
Yeah.
All right, when we last left, I think, if I remember correctly, Lee was kind of backing up J5 and had boosted his signal so that he could successfully boost the mining robot.
Mhm.
And she has the piece of cloned brain and spinal column that you need to finish the process of fixing Sigma. And she has that on her person. Another thing that happened that I wanted to recap was that Jax also managed to download a bunch of scientific data that was corrupted by the rogue AI DIS, but she doesn't know that it's corrupted. That was a thing that happened last time. All right, J5.
A good luck charm.
I guess it's me. So I'm playing J5. His name is actually Tom Wright. He's a socks and sandals like computer nerd that also likes guns. He has a really bad attitude and he hates authority like a lot. His trouble is it can't rain all the time. J5 has been through a lot. He hasn't had a great time in his life, but he's always trying to get to that light at the end of the tunnel, except that it keeps raining on him all the time. But that's okay, there's the light at the end of the tunnel, but there's still more rain and that kind of thing. So that's just the way it is, and you just gotta fight through it, and you gotta soldier on, and that's his trouble. It's always raining, it's always just shitting on him.
Yes, indeed. And when we last left J5, he has a piece of cyberware that lets him literally plug into different technological devices. And he took a running leap on top of this giant mining machine and plugged himself in and has taken it over and is now controlling it. So he's riding it like a cowboy across a field of lasers, fighting cyborgs while his team tries to escape.
If you've ever watched the video for Knights of Sidonia by Muse, that's how I feel right now. It's just ridiculous.
It's awesome. All right. So to zoom back in on our action. We are in a room that is full of mining lasers and communication lasers and sort of a factory space. There's a hole cut in the floor that was melted by the mining robot. And it is through that hole that Jax has escaped. There are two military-grade combat cyborgs that are present in the room. They have just finished emptying their combat shotguns and are now down to hand-to-hand combat. But so far they have proved to be very resistant to damage. Bullets have been bouncing off of them. Even the mining laser burned them, but not so bad. Smaller communication lasers in the room are firing at random, creating sort of a field of laser fire across the room. The network between the players has been disrupted by the rogue AI DIS, and there's sporadic interruptions in that communication network.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Chrome has a boost on the run, so he's in that blue Jetta, and he's landing on the horn, and the attack helicopter is closing in on him. There is cover from the fire, and getting warmed up is so cover from the fire means that there's like smoke and mist in the air that Lee created, so you have some cover, and you have getting warmed up, which is J5 kind of getting the mining laser warmed up and targeting in on the cyborgs. And there are some free invokes floating on some of those aspects. Typically at the beginning of a session, you would reset your fate points back to what your refresh is at. But because we kind of got Pretendus Interruptus last time, right at the climax, we're going to finish this scene before we reset fate points. So where you guys were at the end of the last session is where you're at right now.
So you want us to all die?
I want at least one of you to.
Oh, okay. Well, he's got goals, guys.
All right, F that. I'm gonna live. Screw this.
All right. So, so the current players are, the current actors in this conflict are Sebastian Chrome, the heavy weapons drones, the attack helicopter, the hunter-killer cyborgs, Tom, Dis, and Lee. And right now, Jax is out of this combat because she's escaped down below. But I'm going to probably put her back in the order just so we know what's going on down there for her.
Join me.
Join me where it's safe. All right, so let's put her back in the action here. Okay, cool. All right, so the way we do initiative in this is we pick someone to start. That person takes the first action, and then you just hand the baton to the next person until everyone's gone, and then you start the next round. We closed last time with Sebastian Chrome. So, Sebastian, you get to choose who goes first.
Oh, me, definitely.
Then take your action, sir.
We need to figure this out. Right? Okay, yeah. So, Sebastian hauls ass away from the building. He's going to fire out the window blindly towards the helicopter to make as much attention as possible. Thinking they've pretty much got to chase him because they don't know how many are in there. They know at least one. Mm-hmm. So he's headed for a busy section of the city, as fast as he can go.
Okay. So you're trying to find a busy, congested part of the city. What's your intention there? To kind of hide in the crowd or get ready to disappear?
His intention is to find somewhere to ditch the car and get into the crowd.
Okay.
And beyond that, he's not really got much of a plan.
Okay. So
not bleed to death. That's in there too.
That's fair. So this round, you can spend your action either trying to find a place that would set you up for escaping in the future, or you can try to ditch the helicopter now and lose the helicopter now.
He wants to make sure the helicopter's following him first.
Okay. Then you're just positioning yourself.
Yep.
Let's see. Would that be probably careful? I would say.
All right. Careful it is.
And your difficulty is going to be 3. Good.
What do we get? 4? Excellent.
Yep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take your on-the-run boost, and I'm going to change it to Chrome.
Shiny and Chrome?
Shiny and Chrome.
Nice.
And we're going to upgrade it to a full aspect. So what that represents is that you are slick, but you are also carefully positioning yourself. So you're slick but clever. And you're going to have, because you had the boost on it before for 1 free invoke, I'm going to give you a 2nd free invoke on it. So we've got 2.
Excellent.
Getting a little crowded in here. All right, very good. Who do you want to have go next?
J5.
All right, J5, you're up.
Okay. I think I need to finish warming this thing up.
All right.
So let's do that.
Cool.
Let's get this
going
party
after a
started.
combat cyborg, or?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you'll find, I think, that I shared the character with you of the mining thing. So you should see it over on the right there,
Oh.
maybe.
The
Under-
ARAMD.
Yes, that's it. So you can open that up and just take a forceful attack.
Oh my god, that guy's cool. Heavy metal military grade optics meant for vacuum. I like this guy. All right.
Excellent. Can we keep it?
If you can get it out of here.
Yeah.
I will make a forceful attack with this guy.
All right. And then the cyborg's going to try and quickly get out of the way of that.
I mean,
Wow, that's a really poor roll, my friend.
it's pretty obvious that there's cover from fire in here, and he's all messed up. So
Okay. So that would increase yours to a 5. Boop. And would then hit me for a 1 shift hit. You want to spend any other invokes on it or anything?
no,
Okay.
that's a good start.
Then I'm going to go here. I'm going to grab his stress track. And I'll put it over his head.
What?
Excuse me.
And a 1 shift hit will fill one of my stress tracks. Come on, move. There we go. Cool. All right, that's him. So the laser arcs out and plays along its armor. It tries to duck out of the way, but isn't quite fast enough. And part of his armor is rendered into slag on his body as he finally kind of ducks behind some cover.
Excellent. That's
Very
great news.
good. Who do you want to have go next?
I would like Lee to go next.
Okay. Go, Lee.
She's like, no.
I'm not the one who's in the, the giant machine.
Nice. So what are you going to do for your action, Lee?
I'm going to wait.
Okay. You want to pass it off to someone else?
Yeah.
Okay. Who are you going to pass it off to?
Let's. Let's give it to one of the cyborgs.
All right. Cyborg time. Okay, so the cyborg lifts the combat shotgun up over his shoulder and then drops it, and it just magnetically clamps to his back. And then he takes a few Terminator-like running steps forward and leaps into the air,
No.
trying to dig its claws or its robotic limbs into the mining machine and trying to destroy the laser. So it's going to run up and it's going to do a forceful attack. Oh, that's not a good roll, James. All right. Could you defend, please, with the mining machine?
I can try. He did
You can either do forceful or you can do quick.
Did forceful. Forceful.
Nice, that did it. Okay. And you succeed. So it tries to latch on and start tearing at the armor, and it just kind of makes this horrible screeching sound as its claws scratch over the surface of the robot. The other cyborg is going to be a little bit more tactical, is going to try and work its way around and get access to Lee. Now, you intentionally positioned the robot so that it would make this difficult.
I did.
So I'm going to give you a chance to resist that. So I will make a quick roll to try and get around you, and you can make either a clever for yourself or a quick for the machine roll.
I will make clever for myself. Now, actually, wait a minute. I'm not going to beat that, by the way. I have 3 stress boxes. What does that do for me?
You have what?
I have 3 stress boxes checked off.
That means you're almost taken out. The next time you are hit, you're going to take a consequence.
Yeah, awesome. But right now there's no adverse effects?
Nope.
Okay.
Until you actually take a consequence. You're just feeling fatigued and stressed out by this situation.
Okay. Wonderful.
All right. So go ahead and roll your clever.
Yeah.
Okay. So he is very able to do a running thing and kind of slide between the robot's legs, comes up behind it, and is in hand-to-hand combat range with Lee. It kind of looks at you, and it's one of its hands closes into a fist, and the other one opens, and you see that the end of each fingertip has a razor blade that flips out into place as it looks at you.
Ooh, that's not good.
Boom.
It sounds for Razor Girls, not for cyber robots. Come on.
You're right. Should be for something different. All right, so the Hunter Killer Cyborg is going to pass it off to the heavy weapons spider drones, which are going to also try and take a shot at the. They're going to maintain the web of lasers. So they're going to try and put another free invoke on that for them. But it's not enough.
Guys, this doesn't look good.
Fail.
This doesn't look good at all.
And then the heavy weapon spider drones are going to pass it off to Dis.
Get to the lobby.
Hey James.
Yeah.
Lee's gonna use this opportunity to fish out one of the art projectors that I carry with me, the thing to project into AR,
Okay.
and just with a few quick taps, reprogram it.
Okay.
And drop it, so that for at least a short while until their optics figure it out, I'm gonna make it so that that we look like the cyborgs and the cyborgs look like us.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
So
So-
be much a giant robot, but at least maybe they'll target each other and not us.
Sounds good.
Smart.
So it's going to be creating an advantage. Why don't you go ahead and roll, I'm going to say clever for that one. Yeah, we got a lot of aspects going on here.
Oh man, the dice are not with us tonight.
Okay. So that isn't quite enough. It's going to be difficulty of 3. Do you have any fate points you want to burn on it?
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn a fate point.
Okay. What aspect are you going to invoke?
Let me MacGyver that real quick.
Nice. Perfect. Okay. So that means you succeed and you create... We're going to call it... What do you want to call the aspect?
Who is who?
Who's who? I like it. Boom. All right. Very good. It's got 1 free invoke on it. So you drop that to the ground, and the ARs flicker and change. And there's definitely a moment of hesitation as the cyborg looks you over and tries to figure out what just happened. Okay.
Now I'm gonna move away from it.
5-foot shuffle.
Because I can do that.
Yes, you can. You can move over to bloop, this area. Done. All right. Okay, so what Dis is going to do is he is going to...
Go out for lunch.
Yeah, he's going to leave. So he's going to create an advantage for his team. And he succeeds, but not with style. And what you folks don't see, but what happens is that the attack helicopter is tracking Sebastian Chrome, and all of a sudden it's all of its sensors just kind of really focus in on Sebastian Chrome, and even the internal computer in the car that you're driving starts communicating its position directly to the attack helicopter.
Bail out, bail out.
It's been a pleasure.
Well, we don't know that, right? So
Yeah.
No.
Balls.
But I'm going to give the aspect in my sights, and that's going to give 1 free invoke.
Son of a biscuit.
Alrighty. Thank you, Dis. Dis is going to hand it off to the attack helicopter. The attack helicopter is going to... it's still like barely in the air. Its rotor is gummed up with about 100 feet of fire hose. Its internal systems are severely jammed, and several of them are just failing left and right from J5's hacking. So it's barely staying in the air. But all of a sudden, it gets this influx of telemetry and targeting data, and almost without the pilot's input, the attack helicopter opens fire on Sebastian Chrome.
Oh no. Oh, that's bad.
Okay.
I remember.
So you're driving, and high velocity rounds start chewing up the pavement around you as you're flying forward, and then it starts chewing into the car. How are you going to defend?
He's going to swerve mightily into a fishtail.
Nice.
He's gonna actually try to get off the road by entering a building.
Nice.
Preferably one without people in it, but at this point, they're firing in a city, so fuck them.
Cool. That sounds forceful to me. Go ahead and roll forceful.
Oh, fuck balls. All right. Oh, I've got no. Oh no.
Woo.
What did I get? Oh god.
-2. So I'm hitting you for an 8 shift hit right now. Do you have any fate points left?
Ooh, I don't.
I'm going to interrupt for a second.
Go ahead.
76 Trombones says he would like to invoke a trait. Good guy in a bad world. Kid in the street getting a ball.
Ooh, I like it. Okay, so that is... How is that going to complicate this further?
Jesus
How
Christ.
could it possibly? You sad sack of...
So it happening is really good. It's a good event to compel, but in order for it to... it has to affect that action in order for it going forward. So I'm going to say that you get a fate point if, in crashing into the building to try and get cover, you also lose like the car. The car is totaled.
Yeah.
It's not as controlled of a crash as you wish it could have been, because you're swerving around this kid.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
that's fine. Sebastian aims for a defunct bistro that hasn't been open in about 20 years.
All right. So you now have a fate point.
That's nice.
Right.
Aaron, could you do me a favor and move your phone away from the computer? Thank you.
Okay, so what I rolling again? Is that right?
You can, if you want to spend that fate point. You also have 2 free invokes on Shiny and Chrome that you could bring it to bear here as well if you wanted to.
Yes.
So you can spend 1 for a reroll, or you can spend 1 for a +2. Or you can spend them all for +2s, or you could, any combination thereof.
I'll spend them all because they're all gone after this bistro incident anyway.
Okay. So, do you want to start with a reroll, or do you want to start by just adding +2?
I can't get much worse than a -2, right? Yeah, let's do a reroll. I've got a 0 forceful.
Can only get slightly worse. That's better. That's good.
Okay, yep, and I'll blow those 2 invokes.
Okay. So, what aspect of yours are you spending your fate point on to get that reroll?
Escape artist, def.
Perfect. Cool. All right. So you always know a way out, and
The way out is over there in that building.
So you use
glass
that,
and concrete.
you use that fate point. You total your car, and all your planning had come to this moment, and that's over now. And you are at a 4 against my 6, so you only take a 2 shift hit.
Okay.
So if I'm recalling correctly, last time, and I just listened to this, but I don't exactly remember, you had your 4-point consequence filled with extensive cosmetic damage,
Mhm.
and I think you had at least one of your stress boxes filled. I don't remember which one.
I've got 2 filled right now.
Okay.
So
That sounds about right. So taking that last, which one is unfilled right now?
3.
Okay, so you can click that and you'll be good.
Jesus Christ. All right.
All right, and now you are crashed inside this bistro, and your conveyance is totaled.
But he's okay.
God.
A win is a win.
It is, except he's still in my sights,
Well,
and there's still network interruptions. But that'll come next time.
listen, man. Let me have this, okay?
All
I
right.
can do this. I'm on this. Fuck
And
these guys.
meanwhile, back in the street, a lost child, or a confused and scared child, looks up at the skid marks from the car that crashed off, and he runs off to the side, safe and sound, because the good guy decided not to hit him with a car. Nice job.
Who even plays the ball these days?
Seriously. Nice. All right.
It's a fair
So that's the attack helicopter's turn. Jax, so you're down below now. You're in the next floor down. It's a, it looks like a sort of corporate office space. You're in like a hallway, and there's a maze of walls and half walls and glass around you, separating a whole bunch of different offices. And it's barely lit from a little bit from above, and looks like some emergency lighting here and there is turned on.
Are they a good corporate office with fire escape plans?
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent. I want to start moving down, and I want to call Bishop.
Okay. What do you want to? So you start moving in that direction. That's no problem, and you reach out to Bishop, and within just a moment, she comes through, audio only, and
That's great. That's what I want to.
hey.
Hey, sorry to bother you. Hypothetically speaking, if you were looking for a place to be that was preferably underground and wasn't where we normally hang out, do you have any safe spot you would go, preferably in this area?
She says yes, and then sends an address. And at a quick glance, you don't know exactly where it is, but you're thinking it's probably in a tenement apartment building, not too far away.
Thank you.
And she says, "I'll meet you there," and then hangs up.
Great.
Perfect.
Tell him to bring a fucking rocket launcher.
All right, Jax, who do you want to have go next?
I want to have J5 go next.
All right, J5, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna yell out. Well, I guess I won't yell it. I'll just yell it over our little intercom. If it, you know what? I'll just actually yell it out. I'll just be like, Lee, get out now! And I'll move the robot so it's like trying to like cover the hole. You know, sort of just like
Absolutely.
straddling it, and then like, and I want to shoot the cyborg.
Okay. Before you roll to sneak to shoot the cyborg, could you please roll flashy for me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can really poorly with my 0 flashy.
Okay, do it.
Yeah, nailed it.
Perfect. So you cry out, Lee, get out of here now! And the network interference kind of crackles in, and you aren't completely sure, like you kind of heard him, Lee, but you're also maybe think he's asking for you to stay and back him up.
Dick move. Nice.
Okay. And then you're going to fire with the mining laser?
Yep.
Okay.
Fuck him up!
You going to go for the one that's already been damaged, or the fresh one behind you?
I'm gonna go for the one that's already been damaged.
Okay, go for it.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. 3, I guess.
Yep. Wow, that's a lot of negatives, man.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
All right, so he tries to. You continue to track him with the mining laser, and it continues to make slag out of the surroundings. And the hunter killer cyborg like keeps moving and trying to stay like just ahead of it. And in this case, he isn't quite fast enough. So I'm gonna. So you would get a boost.
Okay.
Unless you want to spend an invoke on something here. Who's who, or getting warmed up?
Will the getting warmed up apply here?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
As long as you're using the laser, it would apply.
Yeah, I will apply that because I'm trying to warm that motherfucker up.
Yeah, you are. All right, done. And so the laser continues to track him. It continues to run out of the way, but you manage to get the laser on him for just a couple of, just like a fraction of a second, long enough to melt some more of his metal armor. So he's going to fill his 2 stress box. So he's got his 3 stress box left and 1 2-point consequence left.
Okay. I assume that is all the things I can do because that's a lot of stuff. I feel like.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll do it. All right. Who do you want to have go next?
Why don't we have Lee go next and see if she can get the hell out?
Okay, Lee.
Or you know, maybe I've convinced her to stay. Who knows?
Maybe it wouldn't have mattered either way.
Okay, very nice.
Maybe you're not the boss of me. Yeah.
Fair enough.
The appropriate response is like, you don't get to be a hero.
Nice. So what are you gonna do?
Good question. Because we didn't reset, if we have once a session things, those are still spent?
Still spent.
Just check.
Because I am a evil overlord.
On occasion.
I mean, you said it, not us.
Got a plan. Shit plan.
I don't know. I like your plans.
This is a bad one. It's gonna work. It's gonna be okay.
Your plans actually consistently impress me and blow me away. So
I need a beer.
We say in my family, if it's stupid and it works, then it's not that stupid. So
I like your family.
I dig it. All right. What are you thinking, Lee?
Measuring how dumb I want to be.
Okay.
Go, baby, go.
You don't play games to not do things.
Go, baby, go.
I'm going to wait off until the cyborg goes again.
Okay.
I want to react.
So you want to see what the cyborgs do right now?
Yeah, so
Okay.
having in reaction to what I've set up before, so.
Okay. Yep. So the cyborg that's being targeted by the laser is going to again try to close the distance and disable the laser. So he's going to move up pretty close to the thing here, and then it's going to attack forcefully. Could you defend for the robot, please?
I would love to.
Man, the dice are not loving me today.
How is the robot defending? Do I get to choose?
Yep.
Forcefully?
Yeah, that sounds good. It's a big hunk of metal.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, you that thing around. Good damn.
So with that, you succeed with style, so you get a boost. I'll put another invoke on getting warmed up.
Oh my god, I just had a horrible vision.
Yeah? Good. The other cyborg is going to... So it looks around, and it kind of sees extra versions of itself. Its directions are, or its directive is to get the Exocortex out of your heads, but can't identify exactly who you are. So instead, it's going to move over by the hole to the ground, hole through the ground.
The one that is currently grappling the giant robot now looks like me.
Oh, that's right. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and overcome. It's going to try and figure out what happened. So it's going to try and overcome your aspect of who's who. And if it succeeds, it will act normally. And if it fails, it will attack its friend. So I'm going to roll my clever. Boop. Oh, that's not good. Not a very clever cyborg.
One.
And I would like you to roll, please, clever, Lee. Yep. Okay. It's going to attack its friend. So it forcefully tries to pull the other cyborg down, but I roll a 0 because dice hate me tonight. And the other one is going to defend quickly. And it just succeeds with style against its friend. That's weird.
Cyborg.
Yeah. Okay, so now those two are sort of engaged with each other and are still kind of caught up in the who's who and trying to figure out where the real enemies are. And I'll have them hand the turn back to you, Lee. What do you want to do?
I'm going to start yelling back at J5, bail out. Bail out, get out, they're distracted, let's go.
Nice. Okay. And
James just sent you a
I'm
couple
going to
messages.
simply take some physical cover and wait to make sure that he starts leaving before I take off.
okay, roll quick to see how good your cover is. Okay, so you take cover, but it's not quite good enough to give you any statistical advantage. But you kind of duck out of the way and wait to see what happens next. Who do you want to have go next? Jax, the attack helicopter, Dis, the spider drones, or Sebastian Chrome?
Sebastian.
Sebastian. What you got?
I'm in a bistro.
You are.
Okay, he's gonna drag himself out of the car running on adrenaline, and he doesn't want to die yet. He has things he wants to do, and Jesus Christ, what is the option?
I'm running out of ideas.
He's gonna head out the back.
All right, so you're
And
trying to.
hope something develops. Yeah, he blows out the back. Yeah, I don't know what else there is to do at this point except
Yeah.
run.
That makes sense. So that sounds quick.
Yeah, but he knows enough not to run in a crowd. So if there's
Okay.
people, he's gonna.
Go careful instead.
Yeah, fuck it.
There you go.
3, that ain't bad.
That ain't bad. So I'm going to give you the aspect. Ooh. It's going to be. No, I'm not going to make an aspect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use that as your vid to escape, and I'm going to have the attack helicopter try to resist that. And if it succeeds, it can still see you, and if it can't, it's you've lost it.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll clever.
Yes.
And then I'm going to spend in my sights to get a +2. So I'm a 3, so I'm tied with you. And then I'm going to spend one of my 2 remaining fate points.
Cheers.
And I'm going to spend that on state-of-the-art optics or state-of-the-art targeting system and keep you in my sights. So you're walking, unless you have another aspect you want to throw at it or another invoke you want to throw at it. I don't think you have anything left.
Yeah, I don't think I got anything. Can't use escape artist, right?
No.
It's just used to that.
Yeah.
Hang on. Yeah, and cybernetic facial implants is pretty fucked up.
And I don't think you have any fate points to power him at this point anyway.
Yeah, I don't have anything like that. Yep. Okay, great. Shit.
So you slip out the back door and you start like fading into the crowd. And this is a trick you've done like 100 times before. If you look like you belong there, then people assume you belong there. And we kind of see it cut to the inside of the helicopter's cockpit, and it shows like the infrared and this targeting reticle like right on your head, tracking you through the crowd.
All right.
Okay.
That's okay. It's gonna be all right.
Who do you want to have go next? Jax, the attack helicopter, Dis, or the heavy weapons spider drone?
Let's get it over with. Let's have the attack helicopter go.
Okay. All right. So it can no longer. So it actually doesn't open fire. It is like overhead, but you're in this crowd of people, and like so that you kind of again we cut to the inside of the helicopter, and the pilot's like, I can't shoot. There's nothing but civilians there, and the co-pilot just kind of nods and shrugs, and they keep you in their sights, but they don't open fire. And then they're going to pass the action to Dis.
Oh God.
And Dis
This is good.
hijacks the attack helicopter. So again, from the inside point of view, all the like overhead and the AR starts flickering, and these red skull icons start to pop up all over the place. And then the attack helicopter opens fire on the crowd with its micro munitions. So anti-personnel micro munitions hitting everyone around you. So it's carnage. People are getting blown up. The sidewalk is getting ripped up in places by mini explosions. It's like a war zone in the middle of the Metroplex. How are you going to defend?
He's gonna throw himself in a dumpster.
Okay. That sounds quick or careful to me.
Careful it is. Oh shit.
Okay. So you take a 1 shift hit.
I'm at 3.
So if all of your boxes are full, that just means another consequence.
Yes.
So you can take your 2-point consequence. Is probably your best bet there.
Okay.
And you fill that in. So describe what that damage looks like, and we'll give it a name. It's minor, so you get away from most of it.
The noise is intense, and between the noise and the concussion, he can't hear a fucking thing. So there's only so much more. Like, he's already been shot in 12 places in the heart. You can get shot and not die. So he's we'll say, is that a thing? Like, is hearing loss?
Yeah.
And okay, yeah, he's deaf as fuck. He doesn't even know what's going on anymore, really. He just sees something like an escape and chucks himself into a dumpster.
Awesome. Perfect. And so you have that aspect now of deaf from the explosions, and I get 1 free invoke on it going forward. Excellent. I'll then hand it off to the heavy weapons spider drones. They're not being super effective here, but they're going to go ahead and try and just keep burning things. So I'm going to try and get another invoke on that web of lasers. Didn't have much luck last time, but we'll see how we do. All right, there, I got it with 1 that time. So I got 1 more on the web of lasers. Okay, Jax.
That was a mistake.
You still getting the fuck out of Dodge?
Yes, I'm correct to remind me, in-game we're not aware our network is compromised. Is that true?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
It's fuzzy, and he's disrupted it before, so you can begin to maybe put together that something's not working here, but... It's
Okay,
not.
I'm going to continue to get the fuck out of Dodge, because fuck this particular version of Dodge. And I want to send to everyone a map of how I'm getting out of, like, how to go through the cubicles, and an address of where we're going.
Okay. Sounds good. Everyone gets that information.
Literally everyone.
Literally everyone. All right. So I'm going to pass it off to... Oh, Jax, I'm sorry. Who do you want to pass it off to? I don't get to choose that. You do.
Who hasn't gone this round?
Everyone is gone. We're starting a new round.
Okay, then I still want to give it to J5.
So J5, before you take your action, I'm going to offer you a compel.
Okie dokie.
So you are parading around with a heavy mining machine on a floor that's been compromised. And it can't rain all the time, except sometimes the floor collapses underneath you under the weight of your mining robot.
Oh, awesome.
So you don't have any fate points to resist it.
You're
But at
right.
least you'll get one.
I don't.
But now you have one. So you have 1 fate point now. And the
Live, you bastard!
the hole in the floor gets suddenly much, much bigger.
Son of a bitch.
There we go. That's messy. Oh. Okay. Anyway, we get the point.
Good
Let
thing
me
I
get rid of
didn't
that.
go down the hole.
Yeah. Huh? So everybody crashes down. If everyone could make a difficulty 3 defend roll, I'm going to say that everybody who's in this zone is going to take a 3 shift hit from falling through the floor. You can defend using anything you really want. We're going to go around and describe how you defend from it.
Okay.
The attack cyborgs are going to so their reflexes are kind of programmed to break their fall. So they do this weird sprawling, all their limbs kind of sprawl out instantly at once and start raking at the sides to slow their descent. So I'm going to call it a careful defense. Ooh, that's not a good roll. So they take 3 shift hit each. That fills that stress box for him. And that guy gets his first click. All right, J5, how do you defend against this?
All right. So this thing is really cool, right? And I'm riding it like a pony. And I'm gonna do this forcefully, right? So I'm gonna basically make it like fire its jump jets to try to slow me down.
Awesome. I love it. Okay, I think...
Yeah.
Yes.
Bones!
There you go. All right, so the floor starts to collapse. You trigger the jump jets, and they just start burning, and you manage to land more or less stably on the floor below. How about you, Lee? How do you defend against that?
Sorry. Go ahead.
As the floor starts to give way, I'm gonna kick off and to basically hit the mining drone, so that I can then use it, like, direct my descent, so that I can slow myself, so I'm not gonna just smash into the floor horribly.
Awesome. Okay, give me a roll on that. Ooh, nice.
Damn.
I just realized I missed an opportunity there. Yeah, it might be too late. It was too late for J5, but it's not too late for Lee. So as you're getting to do that, the web of lasers that kind of covers everywhere happens to kind of get between you and the mining machine.
Get fucked.
So I'm going to use. So you're like reaching for it, trying to slow your descent by grabbing onto it, and these lasers just start cutting through between you and it. And I'm going to use both those invokes. So it makes my 3 up to 3, 4, 5, 6, a 7. So now you're going to be taking a 2 shift hit.
Damn.
Unless you have a fate point or something that you can throw at that.
Could I use Who's Who?
In this case, it's just kind of random chance that the lasers were there at the time. It wasn't targeting you directly. So far all of these compels have been courtesy of 76 trombones, I believe.
Every single one.
Well, thank you.
Hey, 76 trombones.
Love you, buddy.
In all honesty, they're cool, but
That's pretty cool.
He's like, love you guys.
We're just lucky Tiger Planet's not here too, because then you guys would be fucked.
Oh my god. Thank God.
So what do you think, Lee? You taking that 2 shift hit?
I'm going to use a fate point.
All right. What are you going to invoke?
I'm going to invoke Let Me MacGyver that real quick, and as I'm falling, I see the lasers come up, so I managed to grab some very reflective debris and use it to block a safe passage for myself through.
That's awesome.
Badass.
Very, very cool. Very cool.
You're like Legolas.
Down the thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, I can't use guns. I'm too delicate. Bam! Reflecting lasers off of shit. It's so cool. All right. Very good. Okay, so that was beginning of J5's turn. And now, J5, it's your turn.
Okay, I have a question about this robot.
Yeah.
Is it like the picture on the bio, or is it like the picture in the on the main screen?
More like the token.
Okay.
Yeah, the main screen.
Okay, so it doesn't have arms, is what you're saying.
I think it does. If you zoom in really close in it, or I can make it really big.
No, that's fine. If it has arms, I'll scoop up Lee and just leave.
Yeah, it's got little grabber arms on it.
Yeah. Little T-Rex arms.
What you are finding is that while the upstairs room was big enough to accommodate this thing because it was built there, that these downstairs offices are just not.
you have a mining laser. How not accustomed can this room be when you have a mining laser?
You can definitely make progress, but it's going to be slow because you're bigger than the floor. Like it's maybe 8 foot from floor to ceiling, and this machine is 10 feet tall. So you just scouch. It's going to be a tight fit and we're slow moving.
How high up are we?
You were on like the 15th floor.
Oh God.
I only know that because I just watched the last episode.
Right. Okay. So, all right. Question for you: can I scoop up Lee and also fire the laser? I'm not going to hold her in front of the laser. That'd be awesome.
If Lee allows it, then yes. Are you fighting it when the machine goes for you, Lee, or do you let it pick you up?
Can't hear you, lover.
Can't hear you.
It's not the weirdest part of my day.
You ever been picked up by a mining machine? You have now. All right, cool. So yeah, picking her up is free, and you can go ahead and shoot.
All right. So I'm going to fire an angled shot,
Nice.
like down the building, and just be like.
Okay. Is your intention to create a passage for yourself or to make the other people fall down?
It's to create a passage for myself.
Okay, go ahead and roll forceful for me. Difficulty 3.
Is it robot forceful or me forceful?
Robot forceful.
Okay.
Woo!
Nice. Succeed with style. Cool. You bore a diagonal hole down through a bunch of floors. You're probably gonna, if you follow that path, you'll probably make it down to like the 3rd floor, no problem.
Okay.
All right. And who do you want to have go next? I just want to pause for a minute. How awesome it is! Like I picture like cutting into all the different floors, and there's like this, like the ceiling gets kind of hot and then melts away, and this bright light kind of arches down to the next floor, and computers are exploding, and furniture is bursting into flames, and it just melts through to the next floor, to the next floor, to the next floor.
Oh yeah.
That's That's awesome in my head. I want to take a moment to make sure it was awesome in everybody else's head as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I would like. Who do we have left? It's Lee, Sebastian, the cyborgs, the attack helicopter, Dis, all those people. Great. Why don't we go with? Why don't we go with Jax?
Okay. So
I
Jax.
thought I'd already gone this turn.
Nope. Tom.
Okay.
J5 was the top of the list.
Okay.
So I'm using Atlas Corporation Security, the Atlas one, as the marker, and the people below it have gone, and the people above it
Great.
have not.
Thank you.
No problem. All right. So I have a compel for you, Jax.
My God.
Thanks, trombone.
I can't resist it, so what am I up to?
So you are on your way out, and one of the inside one of the offices, the computer terminal flickers to life, and you were just going to ignore it. You were swear to God you weren't going to look at it too closely, but the avatar of Alice Acidburn flips up. And,
Oh, well, fuck yeah.
and she's like flickers on, and she does that thing like the Max Headroom thing where you look around like you can't actually see through a screen, but like looks around and you see like the web camera come on, and AR the room starts to light up, and the door unlocks.
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay,
Fuck.
so you're gonna delay your escape, and you can have a
Jesus sweat.
So you step into the room, and the AR sort of intensifies around you, and you're standing on like a black featureless plane, and immediately opposite you is that sort of cartoonish icon of Alice.
Be quick, because I'm fucked here.
What are you doing? Everybody's looking for you.
At the moment, trying not to die. What's up?
She gestures, and a window opens out of nowhere, and you're seeing a picture from a traffic camera of a sector of the Boss Wash Metroplex that looks familiar. That is near Sebastian Chrome's home, and you're looking at a Vendrin, those kind of slabs of muscle that Bishop had hunted for you, in a pitched battle with a bunch of people that look like a biker gang. And they're just like going at it in the middle of the street, gunfire blazing,
Shit.
cars are on fire. It's chaos. And then she opens another window, and you're seeing a series of explosions from the distance. And these are in another part of town, over towards the one of the dead sectors. And the explosions are a couple of rooftops, and then in a couple of abandoned alleyways. And then she opens another window. And you seeing a corporate security, clearly professionals in full armor, full auto, raiding a Blue Sun location. And she's just like, the world's going crazy, and it's got to have something to do with you.
Well, thank your asshole AI friend for that. That's not on us.
She looks like scared and said, "Is he here? Is it here?"
Fucking always.
Okay, look, Atlas is coming for me. Atlas is coming for me and for Chaos Bleeds. We're not getting much of a choice in this matter. We're going to be working for them soon. So if you know anything I need to know, tell me now.
The AIs in your head, at least sometimes, limits what we can say to you. You still owe me, just reminding. Fuck.
Okay. And at that point, the turn ends. And who do you want to have go next, Jax?
Let me take a look at the turn order.
Sure.
Let's have Lee go next.
All right, Lee.
I'll let you go if you need to go.
I'm not quite sure what I should be doing right now. This seems to be like the smartest place to stay at the moment. So I'm gonna wait.
Nice. So you want to pass it off to someone else?
Yeah, Sebastian.
Okay, Sebastian, you're up.
So here's the problem. So he's a good guy in a bad world.
He sure is.
It's obvious the helicopter hasn't quite lost his tail on account of everything's exploding around him.
Yes.
And he can't live with that. He's not going to be the guy to dive down in the dumpster and hide while dozens of people die, especially in a crowded city street. So Sebastian gets out of the dumpster and he runs over to the middle of the street and he waves his hands at the fucking helicopter. Because he has no idea now how they're tracking him. He has no more tricks.
Okay.
And I guess he's just gonna, I'm not trying to be like overly dramatic or anything. I just don't know what else he would do at this point.
I think you are being perfectly dramatic.
I agree. I can actually see the scene in my head, like you in the dumpster, just contemplating for that split second, then you just being like, fuck, 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 and just getting out of the dumpster and being like...
Yeah, he straightens his tie and strides out into the middle of the street and waves his hands up at the helicopter.
Okay. So you walk in the middle of the street, kind of waving your hands at the helicopter, crossing them over your head. And your ears are still ringing with this from all the explosions. And it kind of condenses down to just one intense ringing sound. And you feel your exocortex start to kind of spin up to speed. And you're aware of Sigma's presence. And you have this distinct impression that she's standing right next to you and she takes your hand. And then the attack helicopter opens fire and blows you to bits.
Yeah, so his last words he's going to mention to you all, hey, I need you all to tell Teddy Dow. And then there's just me.
Fuck.
Brutal. I'm sorry about that. I really did think I would get away.
Who do you want to have go next, Sebastian?
Fuck, who's next? Who's next? Who else do we have left?
We've got...
Spot.
This goes there too. The spider drones are kind of defunct at this point. I'm just going to take them out. It's Lee or the hunter-killer cyborgs.
Let Lee go.
All right, Lee.
All right, so we felt him.
Yep, you felt that last words, and then you feel bullets, and then silence.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're all kind of stunned right now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was an awesome scene.
Don't be
It
sorry.
was an awesome scene. Oh my god.
Do not apologize for that.
Can't hear you, Ryan.
What is that noise?
I think that's Nate tapping on things.
Okay.
Yep. Confirmed.
I can also hear some music in the background. It's very appropriate. I think it's the Blade Runner music.
It is,
It's
yeah.
very good. Yeah.
All right. J5, get me close to you.
Done.
I'm
You
gonna
are?
borrow-
Mhm.
I'm going to borrow J5's reaching out.
Mhm.
Do our fun little brain jumpy thing we do. Lee is like beyond pissed. Like literally just everything that she's seeing is a wash in red. And she is basically going to force that through whatever's within projection range
Mhm.
to try and push Despater out. like just full force of personality. Like
Love it.
she can't physically actually attack anything, so just blow him out and whatever is in the nearby, in the surrounding systems, whatever radius she can manage.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Go ahead and roll forceful, I think. And I'm going to roll careful. Uh-oh.
Okay. I'm going to try and argue for clever.
Well, the way you described it was pure force of energy.
That's true.
So if you want to like describe how you're doing it cleverly, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I don't mind changing it, but like that feels forceful to me.
Could I maybe say it's flashy?
Yeah, totally.
Okay,
That's
so-
super flashy. Okay. So I rolled a 2 and you got a 1. So you're failing by 1. Do you have anything you can throw at it?
Can I throw a fate point at that?
I've got one.
What?
I'll throw it.
What aspect would you invoke?
I mean, we're all connected, and like, holy fucking shit. Not
Okay.
being all connected is not awesome.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
We're all
So-
pretty.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so you reach out with everything that's in you through the network and trying to just crash every machinery around you, or every bit of disaffected technology around you, and it's just not quite enough. And then you feel like everyone kind of pushing with you, and you're all connected, so it helps you overcome that. And yeah, it works. You kind of feel the AI being driven out of the stuff around you. And you feel like sort of silence, and the clarity of your mental network is back. So the network is crystal clear. You're getting everything from everybody again, and you're all like perfectly together in that moment.
-1.
Good job. All right. Looks like last is the hunter killer cyborgs. So they're still a little confused by the who's who, and they're watching the giant robot make its way between floors through the tunnel it made. I think they're going to concede at this point, I think. So they slow down, and they stop as you're kind of crunching through the building. And they turn on their heel and they jump up through the hole in the ceiling, back up into the construction room, and they disappear from view. Yeah. Okay. Yep. All right. So going back to Jax for a minute, you're in conversation with Alice, and she says, I know I owe you one. That's why I'm here. That AI scares the shit out of me. Something like that shouldn't exist. We killed the only AI out there years ago. I don't know where this thing came from, but it's scary as fuck. You should run away from it.
Trying. How about you kill this one too?
Yeah. I don't think... Yeah. All right, I'll work on that. Stay safe. And she ends the connection.
Okay, booking it.
Booking it. All right. J5, what are you doing with the mining machine?
How far down do we get?
You get down to like the second or third floor. So you're like, and it's like, and you're bigger than the floors. So you're like just crushing through, tunneling through a building. And you hit the edge of the building and you can see like the windows and you can see out over the street.
Okay, is the street full of people?
There's been a lot of gunfire in the area. It's not super populated.
I just want to make sure that it's not.
It's not. It is not.
Okay, then I will do like a super anime robot jump out of the building
Nice.
and land in the street.
Very nice. Okay, you do so. Okay. And you land in the street with like a crash and crush a car like inadvertently under your foot. And right around that time, Jax hits the street, um, and I assume goes to the van.
If our van is still there, that sounds great. If it happens to be next to a giant mining robot that is our alternate, like, I'm not picky at this point. Dodge and getting the hell out of is my concern.
Okay. So you're in the street and you kind of look at the giant mining robot, and you detect that J5. You detect, using both the mining robot and your own sort of interconnectedness, that municipal authorities are on the way, and probably a couple more hovercrafts and helicopters. So it's probably time to get the hell out of Dodge.
Okay, where's our van in relation to this robot?
Not too far away. It's up the street a little ways.
Robot's a little.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I want to set it to overload and explode.
Okay.
Smart.
In about 2 minutes.
Okay.
If that seems about right for when the police get here.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I also, and Lee, I'm going to need your help with this. I also want to put AR images of us being in the explosion so that they see us there.
Whoa.
Got it. I pull out another one of my little programmable things and.
Yeah. I dig it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So give me a. You're not gonna have time to do a perfect job. So give me a clever roll, Lee, and give me a clever or forceful roll, J5.
2.
Nice. 2 and 3. Okay. All right. You succeed in setting it up. I'm gonna go ahead and roll just this right here. Okay, cool. All right, you set it up in AR. You set the thing to explode, and the three of you bolt over to the van. You jump inside, start it up, and start pulling away. And you get just a couple of blocks away when you see the explosion behind you. You hear sirens in distance and helicopters in the air, and you screech around a corner and leave the chaos of the streets behind you.
Make it look like an ambulance.
Nice.
And I'm going to head to the last known location where Bastion was.
Okay.
We can't let them get him.
Now we gotta
excellent
pick him up.
Okay. I'm going to put us back on...
1 second. 76 Trombones had something to add to the images.
Oh, good.
Lee not being able to resist adding a bit of telling flair to the images.
I don't know.
May not work. I don't know. But that's what he said.
So what, let's see, what would be a... I like the telling flair.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll help me screw myself.
Here, sunshine.
So, only visible from like a very broad spectrum, but the ensuing flames from the explosion might just to the right eye resemble a lotus flower.
Awesome. Perfect. Take a fate point.
Yes.
So you drive through the city streets, and you're avoiding police cars and ambulances and fire trucks as they're all going towards the blaze. And you find a place already littered or already filled with first responders. And it's the city block where you pass the Jetta, the blue Jetta sticking out of a bistro. And just beyond that, you find, like, again, it looks like a war zone. There are craters in the asphalt. The walls of the buildings around by are pitted with little explosions and scorch marks. And there's like this field of carnage where the micro munitions ripped apart the civilians. And in the center of it is there are like paramedics like trying to triage the bodies, and lying in the center of the carnage is the body of Sebastian Chrome.
I'm gonna have us pull as an ambulance.
Okay. Cool.
Is that attack helicopter still in the area?
It is not. It looks like it's. Oh, you can kind of see it off in the distance, but it's struggling to stay in the air and put distance between itself and here.
Can I reach it?
Yeah, I'll give you one shot at it.
I want to blow it up.
Okay. I gotta switch over to my helicopter here. Hold on.
Sorry, I'm mad.
That's okay. So you're gonna have one shot at it as it gets out of range. You're gonna do a what sort of attack?
I want to, basically hack its systems, right? And just make it explode. It's already damaged and fucked up and covered
There
in
it is.
AI goop and whatever.
Okay,
And
sounds
I've
good.
already been hacking at it.
Yeah. All right, go ahead and roll forceful.
Yeah, just try to blast right through it this time. Yes.
Yes.
No.
How do you
No.
do? I rolled really well there.
That's all right. I will spend my fate point, and I will use we are connected, because suddenly we're not, and that's infuriating. We're not all connected.
Sounds good.
That is going to motivate me.
All right, that puts you at 8. Its systems continue to collapse under the weight of your assault, and the already panicked pilots continue to panic further, and the helicopter veers to the side and then crashes into a building with an explosion of fire and sparks.
Cheers.
That was for you, Sebastian.
As you guys are standing over Sebastian Chrome's body.
God, he had a magnificent suit, didn't he?
Out of here as quickly as possible.
Okay. Are you taking the whole body or just the exocortex?
All of the whole body.
Oh, thank you.
All right, you haul the body up, and it's leaking blood from a lot of different places, and it doesn't even really look like Sebastian anymore because the face is so burnt out and distorted from the damage he took earlier. But you managed to get him into the back of the van and pulled away. Where are you headed?
I've got an address.
Okay. So you head to the safe house that Bishop pointed you to. When you're just a little ways out, you get a text message from Bishop that says, "Drive around the block once."
Okay. I'll
And-
relay that.
And then after you do so, she sends another message that says "clear," and the parking garage door opens, and you roll in. The apartment building looks mostly unoccupied in the lower levels and maybe semi-occupied in the upper levels, but the lowest level of the parking garage is almost completely abandoned, except for a van that looks like it's a broken down heap, but is kind of idling and running off to the side. And as soon as you go past it into that level, it backs across, kind of blocking access. And then she gets out of the driver's seat and walks over towards you as your van rolls to a stop.
Hey, thanks.
Sure, you okay?
I kind of look down at all of the blood. Not really.
Go sit down. I'll get a medical kit. And she goes. What do you... Go ahead.
I have a question.
Yeah.
This is completely desperate, and it probably will not work.
Okay.
But I want to see if there's anything we can do to save any part of Sebastian.
Okay.
On you with that. I was gonna say Lee is pulling out all of her equipment. Because she probably packed quite a bit of it into the van when they were planning on going and getting a human brain.
Mm-hmm.
Is going to basically start doing as much of the intricate work as she can manage to start preserving as much of many systems and things within Sebastian as she can.
Mhm.
Whatever limited she has actually on her.
Okay. Okay. So you start to work on it, the two of you working together, and it's really grim work, cutting into your friend, and there's very little you can do externally. So you have to peel back the layer of skin. You have to pull back the net of implanted mesh that is his facial prosthetics, and peel that back and access the internal workings. And as you're working at that, you can kind of tell that the Exocortex isn't fully operational, that it's has lost or is losing a lot of data, but you manage to put enough into it and preserve enough into that you get about 30 seconds to a minute of Sebastian Chrome's presence. Like you can feel Sebastian in the back of the van with you, standing with you the way Sigma usually does, and you got about a minute to talk to him before you think you lose him or everything that's recognizable as him from the Exocortex.
What'd you want us to tell the kid?
Well, I was hoping you all would come up with something. Really. Sorry about this. I know it's a hardship on you all.
You're a fucking hero. Don't you dare apologize.
Well. Whew. We got some cleaning up to do, don't you? And you get Sigma back and walking around again, and we'll be square, all right? Don't make me haunt you. It's fine. It's not painful at all. I don't have pain in my ankles anymore or my back. I feel quite good, really. I'm looking forward to a rest.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you. I wasn't a whole lot until I met all of you. And then, all of a sudden I was something. So, we'll meet again. Don't worry, it'll be all right.
I'm gonna miss having you around, you old fuck. And I reach out to shake your virtual hand. Old habits, I guess.
Well, it's getting a little hard to see all of you, but I'm gonna go lie down for a while, I think, and scout ahead.
And then it
All
cuts
right.
out, and he disappears.
Fucking onions, man.
Yeah.
Why do I stream with onions at my desk? It's so stupid.
Kind of throws whatever equipment he's using at the ground and storms out of the van, like elbow deep in the door, and just walks off to a corner to scream into her hands in frustration.
Okay. And at that point, the scene ends. Bishop returns with some medical supplies and starts treating your wounds. If you have a minor consequence, it's cleared. If you have bigger than a minor, if you're a moderate or severe consequence, you can rename it to fit something that's been treated by medical supplies in the basement. And so it's not quite as impactful as it might be otherwise. And you can clear your stress boxes, reset your fate points to your refresh. And we'll decide what's next. I'm going to ask you to stick around for a little bit, Nate. I have an idea for some stuff.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Okay.
Toast my goats. I hope I can keep playing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, maybe we'll see.
Because I'm having a blast.
Good.
That was so cool.
Good death scene.
Yeah.
Good on you for pulling the trigger.
No.
I've been in situations before where GM won't pull the trigger, and it takes the gravitas out of the situation, I guess, but good on you for pulling the trigger. I hope it wasn't too much. I don't want to cause any problems.
It was perfect. It was
Right.
Awesome.
perfect.
It's a beautiful
And
scene.
don't thank me for pulling the trigger because I never actually pulled the trigger.
Well, amen.
All right.
Thank you for letting me pull the trigger.
You got it. All right. Okay. So in this next scene, you guys have what's necessary for restoring Sigma to life. You have a fallen comrade. You have some awareness that the orphans and Vendron are engaged in an all-out war near Chrome's old house. And you know that there are some random explosions out in one of the dead zones. And you know that Chaos Bleeds and Alice Acidburn are being recruited by Atlas. You are sitting with Bishop. And those are the active things out there for you to deal with. What's your priority and what's your move?
All right, let's let's try to figure out what we have time to try and fix. How long do we think getting Sigma up and running will take? We may need her.
Wouldn't take very long. You have all the parts now. Once you get back into the hub, it might take you an hour, maybe.
That's the hot.
I guess the problem is getting there, huh? What do you all think?
I mean, if we can get there, I think that's the thing to do. If there's somewhere else we can get all that stuff without having another massive firefight, that's a fine alternative.
All right, I'll check the. I'll see if the route's clear. I would like to, if I can, check the route and see if the building is secure.
Okay. As you're going to get ready to do that, your programs that you put in place to monitor Linda
Son of a bitch.
go live, and you instantly get a security feed from her office, and she's sitting at her desk with her back turned to the door, and standing in the door is Nakata. Nakata was the investigator that hired by Nakatomi, who's been following you guys around and kind of putting the pieces together.
Mm-hmm.
And she's standing behind her in the doorway, and she's looking directly at the camera that you rigged, and she's like making eye contact with it, and then she opens her jacket to show that she's armed with a pistol and a holster and a silencer. She closes her jacket and then sits down opposite Linda and says, very matter-of-factly, "I want to speak to J5. And Linda says, "Listen, I've been over this a bunch. I don't think I can help you." And she says, "I'm going to give you about a minute to produce J5, or you and I are going to have a very different conversation." And she kind of looks over her shoulder at the camera.
Yeah, I'll interrupt.
Okay.
I'll be Linda. It's all right.
She looks around like, "Who? What?" And Nakata just nods and says, "Thank you for making this a little bit easier." Oop, there she is.
What do you want, lady? I don't have time.
"I want to know why you're such a big deal, J5. I have been hired by Nakatomi Telecommunications to understand the data breaches that have been occurring and to try and make sense of the pattern of events that's unfolded these last few months.
Oh?
And I'm lacking some information that I think you have."
Really? All right. Ask a specific question.
"What is the association?"
Between what and what?
They're apparently a group. And she opens an AR window, and you see a picture of that multi-headed AR work that...
Right.
Yeah. And... see, I have that somewhere. Anyway, she pulls that out and then says, "It appears to be a group of high but not top level executives working together for a purpose. They have misappropriated funds from a number of different corporations. They've been running black sites under their own supervision, and we don't know what they were trying to do. They did a very good job covering their tracks. I want to know what you know about them and why your group's so important to them."
Sorry, Jay, can you clarify something for me?
Yeah, of course, sure.
Nakatomi was not really involved in all this, right?
So Nakatomi has been kind of picking up the pieces of
Right.
this as it goes along.
Right.
There's one person in Nakatomi who is involved. Here, we go to here.
Right,
Boom.
okay.
So Nakatomi was involved in the Mishima crash, and Graham Wyrick has been part of the association. But Graham Wyrick is currently been deposed and is being investigated. And Nakatomi was in charge of Project Slaughterhouse, which was harvesting the code from the Mishima AI and distributing it.
Right, okay. I'm trying to gather all my facts here.
Yep, no problem. I know it's been a while, so any review you need is no problem. This isn't a test; it's just dramatic interaction.
I'm gonna
And
say,
as is normal with you guys, everyone can kind of hear it.
yeah. I'm gonna say, lady. If you want to talk about this, I'm happy to talk about it some other time. We can set up a meeting. As long as you don't try to virus me again, as long as you don't try to get me killed again, as long as you people, you motherfuckers, stop trying to kill my friends.
She draws her pistol and holds it at her side, and Linda looks really scared.
That's some cold shit right there. This lady did nothing to you.
No one does anything to anybody, J5.
That's bullshit.
We're all-
You know it.
We're all just part of the grind.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose so. So how about that meeting?
I don't know if I meet you anywhere else that'll have the same sort of leverage. Tell me what you know, J5.
If anybody has any ideas, I'm totally happy to listen to them.
I mean, is there a reason not to rat out Edward Dow as an evil AI?
I'm trying to figure that out.
Because I'm all for ratting him out as an evil AI. Like, if for no other reason than just to wrap petty shit in his life, I am feeling wicked petty right now.
But we kind of intended on starting to do that with some random art installations, like where he was driving around.
Yeah, that's fair. It's been a while, so I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt it. Please continue.
Yeah, rat him out.
Evil AI. Wants to keep humanity down, man.
Alright, I say, have you heard of Edward Dow?
She nods. Edward Dow, newly appointed Icarus VIP, has been in a lot of high-level meetings with Nakatomi and Blue Sun leadership.
And also is an AI.
Is an AI.
Yes.
She sits back for a minute and just kind of taps the barrel of the pistol against her leg, and seems to be thinking about that.
I'll send her proof. Like, here's some files. It's real.
She captures all the files that you share without opening them and seals them like behind a firewall, and says, "I'll review this. It makes some sense." And she stands up and puts her pistol back in her holster. "We'll be in touch, J5." And she cuts the connection.
Okay, can I reestablish connection to the camera?
Yes, you can. I'm going to take one of your free invokes that you already have.
That's fair.
And you can absolutely do that. Let me put you guys back on the comms page here.
I just want to make sure she doesn't ice Linda.
Yep, she does not. Like, she leaves and, like, she leans into Linda and says, "You're fine. It was just a bluff. Keep on working, and there'll be a small bonus in your paycheck." And she smiles and leaves the office. All right. And then you do your original task, and you check the Clock Tower 5. And you cut to Clock Tower 5, and you can see the bar, and you access the hub, and then access the security of Clock Tower 5. And you see Soon sitting at a table, hands flat on the table in front of him, with a butter knife that's been driven through his hand, pinning it to the table. Behind the bar, or at the bar, Kaode is sitting, again with both of his hands flat on the table in front of him, He's not perforated, but behind the bar is Caldera, and he's kind of making himself at home behind the bar, pouring himself a drink. The bar is otherwise empty, but you can see that in the front door, in the doorway, Costas and Fontaine are standing on either side of the door with shotguns.
All right. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go kill a couple cops, and we're gonna murder some other motherfucker. Let's go. You guys ready?
Got it.
This might be an untraditional first date, but do you want to join us to go kill some corrupt cops and some other people?
She gets like the biggest smile you've ever seen and says, "Let me get my gun."
You really know how to show a lady a good time.
I'm sorry, she's so hot when she's ready to kill people.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Okay. So, let me get your characters in there. I'm going to go right from combat to combat. I think this one will probably be shorter. All right, so what's your folks' approach going to be?
Well, on the drive there, I want to upload everything. I know I have the story set to go out if one of us isn't there to be pinged, but I want fucking everything we have to go out to every media person I know on every channel if we all die.
Okay. So you're like live streaming it all.
So, yes, that's awesome. I am...
If we die, yep.
Sorry, I'm interrupting like a dick.
No, that was fine.
Getting emotional. Damn it. So I am visibly furious, and I'm more than willing to be talked down.
Yeah. So while the character is upset, Darren is rational, or Rage is rational, and if you want to suggest a different course, that's okay.
Right.
I was just thinking, why didn't I ask my girlfriend to murder these troublesome evil cops before? So now it'll be a bonding experience.
Oh.
And therapeutic.
What is love?
I dig it.
It's almost like the moral compass was killed.
I mean, in a way.
It is kind of like that.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Come on, we're only killing bad guys. You can't be that upset.
No. I'm not upset that you're killing bad guys. I'm just looking more than one move on the chessboard ahead. You'll all be fine.
I'm sure.
I have a plan.
Oh, okay. Trombone says, this is what happens when you kill the team heart.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Oh, damn.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. So I'm going to grab some of these real quick. And then I'm going to keep you in the initiative order, Sebastian, and we're going to have some stuff happen. We're going to see what comes of it. You ready to improvise a little?
Ooh.
Well, fuck yeah.
All right.
I have ideas.
Good. All right. Okay.
Boop.
Just putting my stress boxes in place because I anticipate a fight. All right. So everyone's got fate points. Everyone's got stress cleared. Who has consequences still?
Oh.
I don't have any consequences at the moment.
All right.
Okay, great. So we're doing all right.
That was Sebastian's burden. You bore it like
Hey.
a champion.
Handle it like a champ, yeah. Okay. Actually, I'm going to do this. Copy. Sorry, I should have had this set up before the game. My bad, my bad.
That's all good.
All right. So, again, what's your approach going to be? You're going right through the front door, or going to be sneaky? How are you going to handle this?
Well, have you met us? We're not going to be sneaky.
Yeah. You're also not usually violent. Oh. Sorry, Lee, what was that?
The one person who was sneaky is dead.
Yeah.
I was so sneaky.
All right. Cool, we got that.
So we know that they have shotguns, so we can use actually longer range stuff which is smarter.
Absolutely. I wasn't anticipating Bishop, so I gotta grab her real quick. Bishop. All right. So as you're riding over in the car, Bishop says, "Return." Yep. Good. So if you know where they're standing, I can probably drive them back in from outside. I might be able to kill one of them. But once I open fire, they'll know it's coming.
I'll open up a feed for her.
She nods and kind of looks at it and says, "All right, I'll set up across the street. I've got a place already picked out. Do you want me to start it off, or do you want me to clean up afterwards?"
I can't think. I just want to run in. Why don't you start it off?
I will sort of lean in with, my lips puckered slowly this time.
She hears J5, shrugs, looks at you and says, "You," and then notices you're doing the kissy face thing, and she kind of narrows her eyes and says, "Keep your hands where I can see them," and leans in and kisses you back.
Yeah.
And then she says, "Do you want me to go first?"
Whatever you think is best.
Okay. And
Thanks.
when you're about a block away, she has you slow down, and she has you stop the car. She gets out with a rifle and climbs a fire escape on the opposite building. And in just a moment, she says, basically, "Clear, we're ready." And this is linked to her character sheet. Anyway, I'll make it up.
I'm sure she's awesome at everything.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys get ready to go in. I assume you're armed. Any other preparation work you need to do, or you're just going through the front door?
Nope, I'm just going.
I'm good.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Can we connect to KO'd?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I'm just going to send him a little, countdown timer.
Okay. He does not respond.
Yep.
But I'm actually going to make that a little bit more complicated than that, because Caldera has surgical steel and cybernetic eyes. So he might be able to pick up a micro
Okay.
expression. So I'm going to have KO'd roll careful, or sneaky rather, which he's not super sneaky. And then I'm going to have...
Knowing we love
It's because
this.
he's our friend.
Yeah. And Caldera is going to roll clever.
Ah, shit.
Okay. So he... so the countdown goes. He squints at it. And then... Let's see. Oh, wait. But does he know you know he knows? Damn. I'm going to say he doesn't know you know, and he doesn't say anything. So you can see that he knows it's coming, and he starts positioning himself in the bar, and he puts a few guns up from behind the bar on the table out of KO's reach. And then he pulls out a meat cleaver from behind the bar, and walks over and stands immediately opposite KO'd with the meat cleaver in his hand, and kind of tapping it in time with the countdown, and says, "Tick tock, tick tock."
Does Bishop? I'm gonna ask Bishop if she has a shot.
I've got a shot. I've got a shot on the people on the door.
Ah, damn. Well, let's go early then.
Yep.
Okay. Bishop snickers and says, "I bet you always go early," and then fires.
You don't even know.
And boom. All right. Costas doesn't get much of a chance to defend, so he takes a 4-shift hit. He's going to fill his 3. Oh no, it's not Costas. Fontaine. Fontaine is going to fill his 3 box. And he's going to take a consequence. shot in the heart.
And you're to blame.
Yeah, he definitely gives being a cop a bad name. Okay, a shot in the heart, and you guys get one for you. Boom. All right, so Bishop takes her shot, and you guys are like right outside the door, moving up towards it. I'm picturing like two on one side. I guess yeah, probably J5 and Lee on one side, and Jax on the other.
Interesting.
Coming up to the door, and you're just outside the door when she fires, and the bullet shatters one of the doors and blows Detective Fontaine back off his feet and into the room. And Costas is just like shocked by that and looks over at looks at the doorway like unbelieving. So Bishop started, and Bishop is going to pass it off to Caldera, because I'm playing Bishop. And Caldera forcefully drives the meat cleaver into Kaode's skull. Except Kaode is faster. So he brings it down, and Kaode just kind of flinches back, and the meat cleaver thuds into the table. And Caldera just kind of snarls, and Kaode stumbles backwards away from the bar. I'm going to see... and then he stumbles back from the bar, and then he actually turns and he runs over towards June, or Soon, rather. And then I'm going to hand it off to J5.
Are we refreshed, by the way?
You are
Yes.
refreshed.
Do I have a shot on Costas?
You totally do.
Alright. I'm gonna say fuck you, shit stick, and open up.
Nice. So you like step into view. He's like looking down at his shot partner with a shotgun in his hands, and he looks up as you come around the corner. And what sort of gun are you using? Because I'm a nerd and I like guns.
I don't know a lot about guns, but this one's like an LMG. Like, this thing, I'm not fucking around anymore.
Oh no!
Okay, that sounds really forceful to me. Go ahead and roll.
Yeah.
All right. I stole the wrong tokens here. None of these tokens are linked to my character sheets. So I'm gonna do. Where is it? There it is. Another one. By you. Hello, you. All right. So he's going to try and quickly throw himself back out of the away from the blast. How'd I do?
Got a 0.
That is good. I forgot to reset my fate points.
That's okay.
I got to say, there's something super satisfying about shooting those assholes after this whole game.
Oh, it feels so good.
Absolutely. Okay, so the 4 catches him, and it fills his 3 stress box. And he takes a consequence. What do you want to call this consequence? What sort of damage is he taking here?
I'm gonna call it the Whistler, because he got shot in the fucking neck.
Nice. I like it.
Sorry. I'm mad.
It's all right. It's good to be mad. All right. So you open fire. Bullets spray across the room, and he manages to avoid a lot of them, but one of them catches him in the throat, and he starts like spurting blood. And he's got one hand pushed to his chest, and he's drops the shotgun and manages to get his pistol out with the other hand. All right. Who do you want to have go next, J5?
They got full fate points, motherfucker. You're dead.
We're gonna go with Jax. We're gonna go with Jax to see if we can clean this up.
All right, Jax, you're up.
Okay, are both cops still in the game?
They are. They're both pretty badly hurt, but they're both in the game.
Okay, I'm going to try to resolve that situation then. I would like to shoot the one that Bishop shot.
Okay, cool. Shot in the heart, Fontaine.
Just very
All right.
Terminator style. On the off chance she can like see through the door.
Nice. Okay. So you're making it very badass looking specifically for her.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and roll flashy. Very nice. Fontaine's pretty hurt at this point, so he's going to continue to like quickly try and get out of the line of fire, but not quick enough. So he takes a 1 shift hit. So his 1 and his 3 have failed. Okay, so he manages to get out of the way of your shot, but just barely, and he's like stumbling backwards, blood pouring down his chest as he tries to find a place to have some sort of cover inside the bar. Who do you want to have go next?
I want to toss it.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I want to toss it to KO'd.
KO'd. Okay.
Nice.
So KO'd's already gone this round because he escaped and ran over to.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be Fontaine, Chrome, Bansky, or Costas.
Easy.
What about Soon?
Soon is incapacitated with the weapon to his
Okay.
hand at this point.
Then I would like to give it to Sebastian.
All right, Sebastian. You don't know who you are. You don't know where you are, but you become aware of yourself. You are in a warm, comfortable place, and you are becoming aware that your implants are coming online. You know what AR is sort of instinctively, and you don't perceive anything in the space where you're at first, and then a small window opens, and it says carrier lost. And you see a bar under it that seems to be, you think, maybe your heartbeat. And the warmth around you starts to become like a bright warmth as a light starts to fill your vision. And then you kind of become aware that you have eyes and you're looking out of some tank of some kind. You're looking through glass and you're seeing some light in the distance. But you don't really know who you are. What do you want to try and do?
Freak out.
Okay.
Oh, we missed you, Sebastian.
So your heart rate spikes, and you can tell conclusively that that second bar is indeed your heart rate, because as you start to freak out, it starts going wild, and the carrier lost window kind of fades into the background, and you start like banging, and you're aware that you have arms. You have arms, and they're working pretty good, and you also then become aware that you are breathing liquid, and you start to sort of panic even more at that point. And then the thing you're banging on cracks, not where you're banging it, but like kind of down the middle, and the liquid that you're breathing starts to leak out into that, and it does this weird thing as it hits the air where it doesn't fall to the ground, it just kind of floats. So it flows out of the tube into the air and just kind of floats gently off to the right and to the left in little droplets in the air, which you panic a little bit more. You start like moving and it's creating a mess in the air, and then you hear kind of a distant rumbling and a sense of movement kind of slowly off to one side, and you feel yourself being pushed against the wall of the tube. You want to try and break your way out?
Yes, this sucks.
Okay. Go ahead and roll forceful for me. Difficulty of...
Let me X out of all these pages about making a new character here.
Okay.
All right. Forceful. Oh.
Okay. So you're banging at the wall, and it's not... You're making a little bit of headway, but not a lot. And you feel okay breathing the liquid, except for you're breathing liquid, and so like you're in this really intense discomfort. But we're going to leave you in that discomfort for another round. Who do you want to have go next? Costas, Fontaine, or Lee?
Lee, get him.
All right, Lee, you're up.
I'm the one who doesn't use guns.
But you know, if you're going to break that, this seems like a great day for it.
Are any of Soon's drones nearby?
Yeah, definitely.
Then I'm gonna hijack one of those.
Awesome. So most of them, you haven't interacted with them very often. Most of them aren't armed. Most of them are sort of a combination between a surveillance drone and a transmitter. What Soon uses them for most of the time is to create areas where there's some sort of privacy. So he'll be aware of what's going on in an area, but he will transmit either electric noise or he'll transmit AR disruptions to create areas where the surveillance state cannot look easily. And he kind of sends these privacy drones out into the city to create cones of privacy and silence in the world for people. So it's one of those drones that he has nearby.
Excellent. Let's put Caldera in the dark.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and roll clever for me. And Caldera is going to resist with his own clever.
Clever girl.
Okay. He's pretty clever, so he's beating you slightly by 1. You want us to throw a fate point at that? Are you going to throw a fate point at that, Lee?
Can't hear you.
Ken,
I was giving problems tonight.
That's okay. Sorry, I didn't even know you were trying to talk, or I would have said something. Sorry.
Yes, I'm gonna throw a fate point at that.
Awesome. What do you want to invoke?
I'm gonna invoke Rogue Overlay Artist.
Fantastic. All right. So that puts you at a 6. So that will create the aspect. Let's see where I put that. In the dark. And I'm just going to write it real big right here.
Yeah, I'm basically gonna have it tail him like in his face, not within reach, but in his face, so that I want to shut him off as much as possible.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Now, that works pretty well on him because he's got some cybernetic eyes. So he doesn't even have the biology to back him up there. That's a good move.
dork.
All right. Who do you want to have go next, Lee? Costas or Fontaine?
Fontaine.
All right, Fontaine. He is going to bring his weapons targeting software online. He is going to carefully line up a shot against Jax. And he's got a stunt that is when he carefully, because he has mil-spec tactical targeting software, he gets +2 to carefully attack with firearms. So he's going to do that with a 4. How are you going to defend yourself against that?
I'm going to look good while I do it.
Nice. Ooh, nice. All right, so you kind of spin away from the shot, and it gets just a piece of you. So you take a 1 shift hit, unless you want to invoke something or spend a fate point on something.
I think I'll take a 1 shift hit. That's okay.
Okay. Very good. Fontaine's going to pass it off to Costas, and because Costas has the aspect J5 is on my shit list, he immediately you come around the corner with a big ass gun saying "fuck you" and shoot him in the throat, and he quickly.
I don't know why he's upset.
It's on the involuntary job of bleeding to death.
Nice. He quickly raises his gun and snarls, like with blood spattering his face from the wound on his neck with one hand holding it. He mouths "fuck you" back, but it kind of comes out with a little whistle in it, which is not as intimidating as he would have hoped.
Okay. How do I defend against that? Can I I'm gonna call this a forceful defense. So like, he would expect me to like dive out of the way. Instead, I'm gonna walk forward and like move to the side a little bit, and just be like, "Fuck you."
Nice. Nice. Okay, go ahead, roll forceful. All right. So I'm hitting you for a 1-shift hit right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm a Yorkshireman. I can take it.
Okay. So the bullets like flying around you through the air, and you're just walking towards it, swearing at him, and it's a little stressful, but you managed not to get hit.
Nice.
Okay. Costas is going to. Well, that's the end of the turn, so we have a new round. Costas is going to hand it off to. Oh, he's going to hand it off to himself because he's that asshole.
What a bag of dicks.
That is so like him.
And he's going to shoot you again.
Wow. All right.
Shit's weak.
Okay.
So I'm picturing at this point, like, he's still backpedaling while he's shooting, but getting more and more desperate.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
Okay, do it.
I mean, I'm not gonna do the same thing. This time. So what happens in a tie?
On a tie, he would get a boost, but you would take no damage. Though that was a fairly poor roll. Not a really poor roll, but fairly poor roll. I don't know.
Yeah, I could go for a reroll, huh?
I always feel like the devil when I do that.
Well, can I invoke the Whistler?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like,
So he's trying to get a shot on you, and he's just like drowning in his own blood over here. And so now it's a tie, and he gets a boost.
do I have to spend a fate point for that?
Nope. You use the free invoke on the Whistler.
Okay.
You're good. And I'm just going to note that he has a boost. Okay. Cool. All right, and he's going to hand it off back to his partner, Fontaine. And Fontaine is going to... let's take a look here. I think careful is still his jam.
Seems legit.
Yep. So he's going to keep backing away from Jax, and where Costas is kind of like all wild energy and firing shots everywhere. Fontaine is like aimed shot after aimed shot. So even with death looming and being shot in the chest, he's still keeping his head and soldiering forward. Okay. So if you would defend against that, Jax, that'd be great.
I will try. Okay, and I would like to. Thanks. Okay, can I pull a fate point and Sigma's with us to not get hit there?
Absolutely.
I will do that.
Tell me a story about Sigma making you badass enough to not get shot.
Oh please, all of my firing has been done at the firing range and like had that down, but doing that and moving and doing that under pressure is an entirely different thing, and doing that when bullets are flying at you is very different. Doing it when Sigma pulls a gun at you that you're pretty sure is loaded is a very, very different thing. So if you can, keep your cool and move under that situation, you're pretty set.
Fantastic. Cool. Yep, that puts you at a 5, so you avoid that shot entirely. Nice job. All right. I'm going to hand it over to Caldera, who is plunged into darkness. He's going to try to... Oops. Let me take a look at his stats here. Okay. He's going to quickly throw a knife in the direction of where the drone was when he last saw it. One of his aspects is I know where to cut, and that just represents like this hyper awareness of targets and vulnerabilities around him at all times. So it's a gamble, but it's a gamble he's pretty comfortable taking a risk on. So I'm going to try to overcome the in the dark aspect, and you can defend it with cleverly. Ooh, wow, good roll, James. Thanks,
Ah.
James.
Wow, dude.
Wow.
And this guy's blindingly fast. Whatever's moving his body around isn't regular muscles.
Oh
my God!
Wow.
Wow! Okay,
Son of a bitch!
so I'm still winning, but only barely. Do you want to
Big
show?
point, just on principle, so he can't win even with a beat.
Nope. Stout fucking druid juicer, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can even use the in the dark aspect or in the dark info if you want to keep him in the dark.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So that puts you up to a 9. I think though I'm going to spend one of my fate points on I know where to cut to put me back up to a 10. So I'm winning by 1 again.
What an ass.
You want us to throw another fate point at it?
Yeah,
What do you want to invoke?
it's not math.
That's good. What aspect are you going to invoke to do that?
I'll use Rogue Overlay Artist again.
How does being a rogue overlay artist make you good at... oh, that's pretty obvious actually, huh? Okay. Good move. So, you're just really good at doing this shit to people's ARs because you do this all the fucking time. And you're better at it than he is clever. So he throws the knife and it goes wide and like hits, sticks into the wall across the bar, but he's still in the dark. He looks really upset about it too.
Bitch.
All right. Okay, so he's going to hand it off to KO'd. KO'd is going to attempt to forcefully pull the knife out of his friend's hand. And he ties it. So he's still working at it. He doesn't quite have it out yet. So Soon's going to remain incapacitated for the time being.
That's good. That fucking hurts.
And KO'd is going to pass it off to J5. Go.
Oh, Costas is going down. I gotta kill that guy. I'm just gonna shoot the hell out of him.
All right, go for it.
All the shooting for him. I did it for you.
All right, he's going to quickly try to avoid being shot. Well, first I'm going to check my feats to make sure nothing comes into play there.
Yeah, I'm checking mine as well.
No, I don't think so. Nope. I have one that applies to forceful and hurt, but not quick. Okay, so he's just going to try to quickly get out of the way. And you win by 2. That's a 2 shift hit. It's going to fill his 2 stress box.
Question.
Yes.
Will I do damage to him if I use gun range redneck?
If you invoke it with a fate point?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then I would either have to spend fate points because I have a boost. So I would probably resist that with a boost.
Okay, well, it'll get rid of the boost. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Boom. So I'm still at taking 2. Do you want to throw anything else at it? I still have 2 fate points left.
I don't have anything else to throw at it, really. Not at this
Okay.
time.
Cool. And he's really close. He's got his 1 box left, and that's it. Then he's gone. So a 2 shift hit will take him out. So you keep walking at him, firing this gun. It's ripping the place apart, and he's just barely by the skin of his teeth, staying out of the range of your bullets, and firing back. Who goes next, J5?
Jax.
Okay, Jax, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna put aside some of the looking awesome and just go for shooting the hell out of him.
Okie dokie.
Which
Clearly, I should have kept with looking awesome.
subsequently it actually looks awesome anyway. So good job.
Yeah. Okay, so he is going to quickly try to avoid that. Oh my god.
Oh no! It still looks awesome, and it is awesome.
Relatively speaking, you win.
Good enough.
Yeah, so it's a 2-shift hit, and I could throw fate points at it, but you still got that free invoke and shot in the heart. So he's going to get taken out. How do you take him out? Narrate it for me.
Nice.
Before Jax was sort of doing some like look cool, kind of action movie kind of moves, and now she's just like, fuck it, and it's much more, Schwarzenegger, Terminator, gun up, shoot him in the head.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Fontaine down. All right. There we go. There it is. Nope. Bam. Very nice. All right. Who goes next?
Who else is up? I'm a little unclear on the...
Lee, Bishop, or Sebastian?
Let's toss it to Bishop.
All right. So Bishop doesn't have much of a shot from her vantage point. And she's still watching like through the feed that J5 has made for her. And she's getting increasingly angry the more they shoot at you. And but then she sees you shoot Fontaine in the head, and she just kind of relaxes and casually reloads her rifle and trains it on the door, and kind of just smiles wistfully as she watches you execute people.
My God.
We are never breaking up.
And she takes that time to draw a bead on the door and create an advantage for herself to kill the next person who walks out. And then Bishop's going to hand it off to Lee.
Okay, I'm going to go for one of the weapons that are he's so nicely laid out on the bar.
Okay. So you can easily get there. There's really no one stopping you. So you move up to the bar and you take the gun. What do you want to do with it?
I'm going to aim it at Caldera's head because I can still see him.
Nice. Okay. Take your shot.
Nice.
Probably careful. Whoa.
Nice!
God damn.
Whoa.
You've been holding out on us with this whole no gun thing.
Huh, but those
She had the
papers.
Terminator magic in her all along.
All right. So Caldera.
I learned from Jax. I learned from watching.
Good teacher.
That's awesome. So I'm going to not defend with clever or quick, which are my best, because he doesn't know you're coming because it's in the dark. So I'm going to defend with careful. All right. So you're hitting him for a 1-shift hit. Do you want to spend any fate points on that or anything?
Yes,
All right. What are you going to invoke?
Sigma is with me.
Yeah. Tell me a story about how Sigma taught you how to shoot, even though your hands aren't made for it.
It was one of those things where we had been in some situation previously and it had all gone kind of sideways, and Sigma was like, well, fuck this, you need to learn. We gotta figure it out. And so we spent an entire afternoon, she just showed me how to hold the gun just right to not damage my hands.
Nice. Okay. So that makes it a 3-shift hit. Right? Yeah. Cool. So I'm going to fill my 3 stress box. And the anger and the sort of cruel cast of Caldera's features starts to shift a little bit towards fear as he starts doing that thing where he's like looking around trying to figure out who just shot at him, and he is having trouble pinning it down exactly where it is. All right, Sebastian. That force is kind of pushing you to the side. So all the droplets from the tube that were kind of floating in the air are also being pushed to the side, and then they start moving faster, and you manage to kind of get the thing open and wedge yourself out, and then you're just kind of slammed to the side, and you feel yourself being propelled down this hallway, and you're vomiting up this liquid and kind of sucking in air, and you're no longer warm. Now you're cold, you're naked, and you smash to the ground as that sort of sideways velocity is kind of switches to sideways and down, and then you're slammed into the ground, and then it's down, and all of a sudden there is a down, and you're like laying on the ground in a pool of liquid on what feels like a metal grate maybe, and you're just kind of laying there. The room around you is dark, and there's little pools of light in places. The tube you just emerged from is one of a row of 6, and there is the opposite the tubes is another metallic wall that has a couple of doorways and looks like cubbies or lockers on it at various places. You're pretty hurt from hitting the ground, but not badly hurt. You're just kind of banged up.
Am I still a pudgy, middle-aged bald man?
No, in fact, you are probably 25, 26. You've got a 6-pack. You're like perfectly tuned muscles. You look really, really good.
There's been some mistake. All right. Okay. Well, first things first. Despite the fact I look amazing, I'm gonna go dig through those lockers and find some pants or the equivalent thereof.
Okay.
We can work with a garbage bag. We can work with a small McDonald's fries wrapper, but we'd rather not. Let's just find something.
Okay. You get to the lockers, and the first one you open is full of sealed boxes, like almost Tupperware boxes. And you open one up, and it's full of yo-yos.
What?
Yeah, you look at it, you're like, what? And you kind of drop it, and you move to the next one, and it's full of like vacuum sealed garment bags, a whole like ton of them, like a whole rack of vacuum sealed garment bags. And you start looking at it in your AR starts lighting up like a picture of whatever suit's inside it, and this is a whole bunch of really nice designer suits.
Okay, now we're talking. I find something that fits.
They
That
all
looks-
fit.
Oh, these all fit perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, just take it easy. Don't know who I am or where I am or what this is or why these suits are so awesome. But I'm going to get in the most badass suit available.
Nice.
And some slick navy blue number.
Okay.
A lighter collar. And get dressed.
Nice.
And try not to freak the fuck out.
All right. As you're getting dressed, you realize that the back of the locker has like a built-in camera and AR system, so you can actually like call up a image of yourself and like a mirror and look at yourself. And as you're getting dressed, you note that you see your face, and your face looks familiar to you, like you're pretty sure it's your face, but you also like instinctively know that your face can look like anything you want it to. You've got a full head of hair that's probably artificial. Your skin and the muscles underneath it are in a specific shape, but you kind of know that you could change it. So you don't, while this feels like your face, you kind of recognize it as your face, you're not sure it's your face.
Well, this face will do for now. Pants first, then the shoes. Yeah, let's get some clothing on us, and then we'll figure out what the fuck.
Sounds good. All right, so you get dressed?
Yeah, looking for an exit from the room at the same time.
Okay. You find a couple of doors. You're not sure where they lead. None of them's like labeled as an exit.
Jesus Christ.
But there are a couple of doors. Who do you want to have go next? It looks like the full order is back up, so who do you want to choose?
Minus Fontaine.
Oh, Minus Fontaine, you're right. Take him out.
J5, would you finish this up, please, so I can get the hell out of wherever the hell this is?
J5, you're up.
I didn't hear a strange voice in my head, did I?
No, you did not.
Okay, cool. All right, I try to mop this guy up, just like walking toward him, spraying him full of bullets, as best I can.
Awesome. Bring it out. Terminator style. Sounds good. Costas continues to. Oh wait, that's Fontaine. He's dead.
Eh.
Costas.
What the fuck?
So he's at this point like backed into a corner. So his like stance starts to change, and he gets that look that only J5 can bring out in people, like that incredibly pissed off look that J5 is very familiar with. And he's going to switch to forceful, and he's going to use because he's a sadist. He gets a +2 to forcefully intimidate or hurt people he enjoys seeing in pain.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to try and intimidate you by like just start walking towards you, being held out, and he's going to try to do your own trick back at you.
Yeah, that's my move, bro. You can't steal my moves.
No, he cannot.
No, you can't.
But luckily, I've got 2 fate points left, and one of his aspects is literally J5 is on my shit list.
That's fair.
So he's going to spend a fate point to re-roll that. And I forgot to include my +2 from the feat, so I'm going to add that in. So forceful with a +2. Come on, roll better. That's slightly better, but not by much. You still hit him for a 1 shift hit, which fills his box. But
Okay, can I use gun range redneck again?
yeah, you totally can. And that takes him out.
Dead.
So tell me how you take him out.
Okay, so I finish pouring bullets into him from this gun, drop that gun, pull out another pistol, pump three rounds into his chest, pump 2 into his face, drop that gun, and say, "Fuck you." And then I turn to the next thing and pull out another gun.
All right. Perfect.
Good lord.
Okay, who goes next?
I don't even know what to do anymore.
And I'm spent.
And spent. KO'd. How about KO'd?
Okay, KO'd is going to finish, or attempt to finish, removing the knife from Soon. Man, KO'd is not rolling so hot today.
It's a knife. Just wiggle it and yank.
So I'm going to say, like, so narratively wise, he manages to get it out of the table, or
Amen.
but after making the wound more jagged, and Soon is just like screaming in pain. So he manages to get Soon free, but they're still like just in the corner, standing there, but alive, which I didn't expect. All right, they're going to hand it off to Jax.
Okay. I think Caldera sounds like the next person to start Terminator style shooting at.
Perfect.
Ew.
He's going to continue to defend carefully because he doesn't have what's causing this? Doesn't have full use of his faculties, or he'd be at his best here. Boop, boop, boop. All right, I am slightly more careful than you are forcefully. You want to spend any fate points?
Yeah, I do.
You're so mad.
I am so mad. I want to murder people. This is why Bishop and I make such a big couple. But yes, I would like to murder him, preferably in the face, but I'll take what I can get. So I would like to spend a fate point.
All right.
Can I use Sigma's with us again, or is that...
You can. I'm going to have you tell me another story, though, because I like Sigma story time.
That's not.
Sigma
Sigma story
time
time
is
is the best. So for this one, this was really more like, Jax was always into, getting the story in the little guy and putting it out there, but some of the stuff she saw with Sigma was really way more egregious. Like the big interview and piece they did, it was a lot worse than the kind of thing Jax had found before. And that was the first time Jax ever fired a gun angry, go to the range, try to work it off, and Sigma talked her through that sort of thing, and just if you get this angry, there's always something you can do, so do something about it. So
Nice.
I'm doing something about it.
You sure are. All right, that puts you at a 4, so he takes a 1 shift hit. And he is going to take that in his stress box. Boom. All right, 1 step closer to gone.
Yep.
All right. Who do you want to have go next, Jax? Lee or Bishop? Or Caldera?
I want Lee to go next.
All right, Lee, you're up.
We're gonna fire again. We're gonna move a bit and fire again.
Okay. So that's pretty clever. If you want to use clever. Or you can use... Yeah. Because you're... Oh, man. Okay. Well, at least you're not slaughtering me here. So you managed to reposition and get another shot. And
If you want to spend a fate point, you can be slaughtering him.
you could. At this point, you're filling his 2 box. If you can get it to a 3 shift hit, so you would have to... Yep, if you spend 1 fate point on it, I'd also take a consequence.
Done.
Okay. What are you invoking?
What are the ones we get through Sigma again?
Excellent question. They are... we are all connected. Sigma is with us, and we have the key.
I'm going to use We Are All Connected because I've maneuvered myself so that now Jax and I, like, even if he were to suddenly gain his sight, he'd have nowhere to go.
Awesome. That makes perfect sense to me. All right, so I fill his 2 box, and he takes a minor consequence. And that minor consequence is flesh wound. There you go. And we get 1 free invoke on that. Okay, cool. So you get a piece of him. And this is this the first time you've ever shot someone?
Second time now.
Second time you've ever shot someone. So there's a weirdly satisfying burst of blood, and he stumbles, and he starts to really look scared. Who do you want to have go next, Bishop or Caldera?
Actually, no. Sorry. I'm going to have Caldera go next.
Oh, okay. All right. So Caldera is...
That was good. That was a good
Maybe he should run for it.
He's kind of thinking about running for it.
Up the front door.
Yeah.
Lizard brain.
He does know the layout of the bar, so he would be able to find the front door. Yeah, I think he's
They don't look in the mood to take prisoners, do they?
No, I do think he's going to try and make a run for it. Is anyone going to try and like stop him or trip him up or get in his way?
Can we shoot him? Does that count as tripping him up? Because I am totally down with shooting him. More.
He's going to make a run for it. So he's going to stumble towards the door, and he's going to try and cleverly make an exit for himself.
Yeah, that's it.
I know
Super
what's
smart.
And so are you? If you want to try and hedge him in with bullets so that he can't get away, you can resist that and roll a defense, or you can let him go.
I'll let him go.
Hedging is good.
Sure, I'll try to hedge him.
Okay. So go ahead and roll forceful or flashy, if you can think of a flashy way to fire bullets, so he has to turn.
I'll go first on this one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus Christ.
So he tries to bolt for the door and makes it a couple of steps, and then you put enough bullets in the ground around him that he like basically stops and covers his head, like to not get the flak on him, and he isn't able to make any sort of distance on the way out. And then I guess it's Bishop's turn.
Yeah.
All right, so Bishop.
Good night.
So from Bishop's point of view, she drops the crosshairs until they're she can't quite see all of him, but she gets like probably from like the navel down, and rests the crosshairs on the like on the where about his spine would hit his hips, and then whispers, "You want him dead, baby?"
You know how to sweet talk a girl.
And she shoots.
Y'all got problems.
And so she actually gets a +2 on that because of the time she spent setting up the shot. So that would be a 6. He's going to try and carefully defend against that. Ooh, hits him for a 1 shot, for a 1 shift hit. She could use the flesh wound invoke, but it's not enough to actually kill him. So she's just going to leave it at that. And he's going to take a second consequence of shattered pelvis.
Yikes.
No, Jesus.
And he hits the ground. And Bishop is going to hand it off to Jax.
I'm gonna shoot him.
Okay. So he's like,
He teed it up.
yep. He's
With a
laying on
knife.
his.
So dark.
So he's laying on his back. His pelvis is shattered. Is bloody. He's got a flesh wound in his shoulder. He can't see, and he looks up, and his vision clears just enough to see you standing over him with a gun in your hand. And you shoot him.
If this is watching, you're next.
Nice.
Oh, not with that roll.
That's okay. He can't really defend. So, because you've got 2 free invokes on flesh wound and shadow.
Good.
So, you shoot him in the head, and his head explodes, and very, very expensive optics rattle to the floor. And that ends combat. So we're going to switch over to Sebastian for a minute, and or whoever this guy is. So you have a few doors that are marked as exits, and as you're moving along, or not marked as exits, there's a couple of doors. One of them is pretty clearly an airlock. It's a big, heavy door. It's got a small window on it, and as you like a lever and buttons and AR that sort of flicker into existence as you get near it. And you look through the little window, and it opens onto like a 10 by 10 room with another door beyond it, with another small window in it. And beyond that small window, you can see stars off in the
Fuck
distance.
that. No, absolutely not.
So you kind of back away from that door.
Yeah, no. Let's
It's an
try
exit.
the other door. Maybe it'll lead to the earth.
You get to the other door, and the other door opens onto a looks like a very sparse sort of bedroom. There's a cot that's bolted to the floor. There's a box, like a trunk that's also bolted to the floor and sealed. And there's what looks like a small like a communication terminal / computer that's also bolted to the wall.
Yeah, let's go to that thing and fire it up.
Okay. It activates as you approach, and you get it flickers into AR, and you get a screen. It's pretty limited, but it looks like a place where you can make phone calls from, maybe, or other sort of send or receive messages. It doesn't have complete net access, but it's got at least a limited net access. And you find a couple of documents on it that have been like in the sent area, that one of which is putting a huge bounty on the head of someone named Sebastian Chrome.
Oh dear. This guy sounds like he's fucked.
And another one that's a message to a group of people who call themselves the Orphans, that says, I'm calling in my markers. I need you to find this boy. I need you to keep him safe. He's in a lot of danger.
Do I know my name?
You don't. You have no idea who you are.
Do I? I start. Okay, computer. Hey, Siri. Who am I? Computer. Identify myself. I mean, he starts like, he's not freaking out.
Yeah.
He's clothed. He's a gorgeous 20-something with a six-pack, okay? Things could be worse. But he's, on the moon or something, so he starts looking, he starts asking the computer for help.
So the computer comes back with a string of, this unit is identified as Icarus Aerospace Storage Satellite 69717429732. You are occupant.
Do I have a friends list?
You have yes. So a file opens, and in AR it is it's this big tome, like it's a book, like a ledger, and the ledger is all written in handwriting, and it's in some sort of ciphered code that it seems familiar to you, but you can't quite get through it. So you flip through a couple of pages, and there's definitely numbers and letters, but they don't make any sense to you. Whoever this person is was pretty paranoid and pretty careful in how he hid his stuff. I love this because it's like, are you smarter than yourself?
Give me just a second.
Sure.
I don't mean to take up so much time. Give me just a second.
That's fine. You think about it. I'm going to switch over to the group for a few minutes. It's about 11. It is exactly 11:04. I think we want to do one more mini scene and then maybe wrap it at that point, because we usually try to wrap it up before midnight, right?
I swear to God.
I'm willing to go as far as you guys want to go, but I know you all have things to do and jobs and things like that.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I can stop at midnight, 11:30, whatever you guys want.
Okay. Well, let's do one more scene and we'll see where we're at, unless anyone wants to hit the button now.
Yes, I am smarter than myself. Hang on.
I think we're good to go.
Okay. So it quiets down, and Kaod helps Soon to his feet, and it kind of walks over to the three of you and says, thank God you guys can't hear. That guy's fucking nuts.
Yeah, well, now he's fucking dead. I'm glad you're all right. Do we got people to post up at the door here for a minute?
I'll make some calls.
About an hour?
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right.
I got your back.
Yeah, we have a delivery and we got to make some things happen. So we're going to go downstairs.
I just take my stuff and start heading down.
Yes, I've got it. Go on.
All right, you start heading down. So Lee, you're going downstairs first?
Yep.
Okay. When you get to the hub, make a quick check for me, please.
No! It's trapped.
Oh, that's not a very good roll, James. I'm going to spend
Okay, that was James's
roll it again. Still one. Okay. So my last phase point there. But so as you come into the as you walk into the hub, there's a single shot of gunfire, and you kind of flinch back, and it wasn't really going to hit you anyway, but you managed to get under cover real quick, and then you hear Teddy Dow yell and drop a gun and put his hands up. He said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry! I just heard people yelling and shooting."
It's okay. It's okay.
No.
And he runs over and kind of buries his head in your midsection, wraps his arms around you, and as he moves in AR behind him, you can see little girl Sigma standing protectively next to him and lowering her hands like she was showing him how to use the gun, and then she flickers out of existence.
This is zero communication. Help! I don't want to have to tell him this by myself.
All right, Teddy. We got to go downstairs, all right? Let's go. Come on.
Okay.
She kind of gives him a hug and encourages him to go down.
All right, I'm going to get you out of this. I revert my facial implants, my instinctual facial implants, to the most used face, which stands to reason it would be the one I shift to when I'm not pretending to be other people.
That stands to reason. Okay. So your face shifts, and then you have this weird moment where the face that you're wearing unmodified doesn't match the vision or the version of yourself in your head. So like you feel your hairline recede. You feel your face get a little bit like heavier and sunken eyes, and then you're like looking at yourself as this old, kind of burned out, but maybe a little sweet, scruffy looking guy.
It is what it is. Computer, identify me.
And then it does an internal search, and it comes up with Chrome, just the word Chrome.
Oh, what a magnificent name. Magnificent metal. Can I access any news?
Yes, you can.
I'm gonna run that name through the news, which will lead me to explosions.
Yes, it does. Yep.
You get fuck's sake.
All that. Yeah, so you get explosions, you get scattered stories about yourself, about Sebastian Chrome over the past couple days. He's been in the news a couple of times. Yeah, and you start sort of educating yourself on that. I'm going to say, as you're sort of doing this research, you also begin to realize that the thing you're in does have a sort of an escape pod in it that could be launched into space, but it's not great for like long distance. It would never get you back to like a planet, but it might get you from this place to another satellite or something.
Jesus Christ. Well, let's figure that out. If I can get help to come here, I'm going to do that before I start driving shit gravity style.
Okay.
Okay. So Sebastian Chrome, or Chrome, was shot to death by a helicopter in a crowded street X amount of time ago. Right?
Yep. Doesn't seem like too long ago.
Excellent. Wow. What city is that, and will the escape pod reach it?
Boswash Metroplex, and no. Looking at your own location, you seem to be in orbit pretty far outside of Earth's atmosphere. You're actually part of a cluster of other satellites that are supporting the construction of Atalanta Gold, which is a large kind of pleasure satellite that's not too far away from here. You could definitely get to Atalanta Gold.
A pleasure satellite.
Yeah.
So okay, let me see if this makes sense. And I don't mean to take up so much time.
That's okay, you're good.
I've woken up in a weird place by myself with vacuum sealed suits, yo-yos. I can change my face to look like anybody, and I was just killed on Earth.
Or someone who looked like you was killed.
Someone who looks like me was killed on Earth. So it stands to reason I should be a little bit cautious.
That makes sense.
Okay. Okay. And I sent someone sent a message to these orphans about taking care of the kid.
Yep. And put a bounty on Sebastian Chrome.
And put a bounty on Sebastian Chrome.
Big one.
All right. I have no idea if I have any friends or not.
All right, I'm gonna let you percolate for a minute.
Yeah, please.
Cutting back to the hub, you got Teddy Dow down there. The three of you are there.
Ooh, good luck.
Lee is working on putting together Sigma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you guys telling Teddy about Chrome at this point?
Yeah, we got to do that.
Yeah.
We should all do it. So, well, I think if it's okay with everyone else, sort of gesture. Teddy, why don't you have a seat?
He looks around and then sits down. Am I in trouble?
Nope.
Oh, kid.
No, you're good, kid. I don't think Sebastian's gonna make it back.
He will. He gets out of everything.
No, I mean it this time.
He saved a lot of people today.
You mean he's dead?
I think so. Yeah.
Just like my dad.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Teddy, it's important to it's important for you to know that he was a hero. He was a good man and he did good things.
And he cared about you.
And he asked us to take care of you, so we're gonna do that.
What happens if you die too?
Well, I can't make any promises beyond who or what we can do. We'll just do our best. And that I can promise.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go lie down for a little while.
Okay. Listen, Teddy. If you want to talk about things, we'll be happy to listen, all right?
I don't think I want to talk right now.
I know.
And he goes and goes to like the cot that he's got set up around Sebastian's area and kind of disappears from view.
Well, computer people are working on getting Sigma back and tech stuff. I wanted to put together a eulogy piece on Chrome, and I want it to be like every neighborhood hero, good guy, you know, a heart of gold story that you can find, and like brutally cut down by corporations.
Nice. Okay. You put together the eulogy.
Oh, does that come across my feed?
It does.
What? Who sent this? Who made this?
Do you have a like a screen name you use, Jax, or do you publish under?
Probably Jax.
Okay. So you get that.
Yeah, you get a message. You get a message and a video link, and it's you know what? He'll stick with the older person because he's just gonna. It's who he's supposed to be, I guess. Yeah, you get a message from Chrome. Hey. And I bet the lag time is really shitty too because he's in space.
Well, it's more like a recorded message than a phone call. So
yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know who this is or who you're dealing with, but you seem like at least you're in the news, so maybe you can give me a hand. I'm in LEO, and I'm headed to this pleasure satellite down the way. I'm in a great suit. I'm old. I'm bald. I'm pretty pissed. But
Who the fuck is this guy?
I don't know who to talk. I don't know who to. I'm sorry. I don't know who else to talk to. I'm in some satellite called Icarus. I just woke up here in some kind of tube full of goo. Anyway, if you want to talk, I'm headed to this pleasure satellite. I don't even know what. I'm not even fucking dressed for it. But, and yeah, probably the first thing I shouldn't have done is go to the fucking news. God, it's so fucking stupid. He gets it out. I'm gonna get his shit together, whatever that might be. Certainly none of these fucking useless yo-yos, and get in the satellite, the escape pod, and head to the fucking pleasure satellite.
All right. Sounds good.
He's younger. Like the clone is obviously younger than the old guy, and maybe that's a part of Sebastian that's just the way it is. When you're younger, you're just dumber by virtue of being younger. I don't know. I've never done this before. This is weird.
Jax, who the fuck was that?
I was just gonna ask you, like, who the fuck is spooping this bullshit at us?
I'm gonna ice this motherfucker. I'm not in a good mood.
Is it? I mean, can you track it or trace it or see what Photoshop bullshit was on this?
I get. Do we want to do that now? Just save it and I'll look at it later.
Fuck yeah.
You know what? These idiots aren't even gonna know who they're fucking looking for. I'm gonna send another message.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm sorry to fill up your inbox or whatever of all this crap, but I mean, like, I shift through back to what he looked like when he came out of the tube, which is the younger, handsomer Sebastian Crow. This is what I woke up looking like, but I guess I'm supposed to look like this old guy, and it shifts back again.
Is it a familiar-looking shift?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's textbook Chrome.
I really hope you can help me, because my only other options appear to be a biker gang called the Orphans and some unidentified kid who I don't know.
I just read back and say what's the kid's name?
Oh damn, that was fast. Teddy. I send back. And wait before I get in my pod.
Is he fucking kidding me?
What the fuck? And I'm gonna try to ping Sebastian. Like, he's not on our network.
He's not on your network. Nope. You still find that dead air where he should be.
She's just got her headphones on and is working on Sigma and is missing all of this.
That's fine.
It's almost done. It looks like she's almost
You know what? He's probably scared at this point. Like, he's young and brash, a little bit more brash than he normally is. But he's probably scared at this point. And he's going to send another message that's a little bit calmer and say, listen, do you know who I am?
Fuck no.
Who's this guy?
I'm the guy whose house you're calling. What's your...
Oh, I'm sorry. You're all... Oh, it's a house? I thought you were like a... Listen, I woke up on this station, okay? Naked, in a big thing of liquid.
I'm gonna scour this transmission.
There's...
Okay.
He doesn't know how to block it. He wouldn't even if he could.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of suits in here, and there's a bunch of yo-yos in here. They're all vacuum sealed for long-term storage. Who the hell stores long-term storage yo-yos is what I want to know. And I'm hungry and I'm scared, I'll be honest with you. I feel like I have incredible amnesia right now. I mean, like, I'm sorry to bother you with all this, but I feel like I'm in some weird sci-fi novel or something.
Hold on. We've got a lot of shit to take care of right now. Can we call you back in like 2 hours?
I'm not going anywhere.
Alright, sit tight. Enjoy your fucking pleasure satellite or whatever the fuck.
No, I'm gonna stay right here.
Okay, you fucking weirdo. I'll call you back. I'll hang up.
Yeah, wear some shoes.
All right. So Lee, it looks like Sigma's about up and running again.
Help me!
You have
Bye,
everything in
Jack.
place? Good.
Yeah, you come over.
Is there anything I need to do?
Talk her through waking up in the new body.
I'm gonna start initializing in just a second. Are we ready?
That's relevant.
I'll prep in whatever sciencey, hackery way I can prep. That's hand wavy. I don't know what that means, but it's happening.
It's totally happening.
Awesome.
All right. So she starts initializing, and all the components that you put together over the last couple days start interacting with each other, and you can feel the sense of her in your network begin to kind of grow and flesh out from the sort of ghost in the machine that she's been into what almost feels like a real person. The full body prosthetic comes online, and it starts to move, fingers first, then toes, and kind of slowly working up the body in like this real slow series of twitches as every joint and actuator connects itself with neurons and connects itself with the exocortex. And then you feel like this incredible like draw on the exocortex as her exocortex queries all of yours for all of your memories of her, and you start like pouring out all of your experiences of Sigma into her exocortex, and that starts getting integrated with her brain that you put in place. And then there's like this moment where that drain just stops, and then you get a message that's I'm alive. Are you all okay?
No stress.
Her eyes open and she sits up, and the movement at first is kind of jerky, and then in just a second it goes from jerky to like fluid and perfect, and she pulls herself up into a sitting position on the bed, and looks around and kind of makes eye contact with each of you, and very slowly her expression goes from flat to like this artificial weird plasticky smile, and then it kind of blooms into this smile that's totally her. That's like this perfect moment of her repossessing herself, and she smiles and says, "You fucking saved me."
You're fucking right. I give her a giant hug.
She laughs and hugs you back, and then holds you at arm's length and gives you the big up and down and says, "How many guns are you carrying right now?"
5.
Good man.
You
And
left
she-
a couple on the floor upstairs.
And she kind of gives your shoulders a squeeze and then turns and hugs Lee and says, "You did this, huh? All this? You put me back together again?"
It was a little help.
Yeah. If I know anything, you did all the work. And then she turns and hugs Jax and says, "You haven't made me famous or anything yet, have you?"
It's stories in the pipe.
Yeah. Okay. Make sure I look good. And she
Always.
gives you a hug. Where's Sebastian?
My face falls immediately.
No.
Yeah, he didn't make it.
Fuck. Did you burn the motherfuckers that did him?
Yep. Not all of them, though.
Not yet.
Next step.
All right. She kind of looks down at her hands and makes a fist and then opens the hand again and says, "I'm not sure I'm quite ready to fight yet, but it will be soon. Who's the next motherfucker?"
That's a good question. There's a lot going on, and I just sort of spit all of the images and information that I have of the past 2 hours that I can recall at her.
Okay, she gets this like wide-eyed look and says, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa," and she takes a minute to like, sort through all the information you're throwing at her, and she says, "Okay. So our original mission failed? Were we able to get access to the association's network or not?"
That's what our mission was?
I don't.
Yeah.
We don't remember that.
Okay.
Our memory stops, or rather begins, at this timestamp.
Okay.
Something happened. We don't know what happened.
So we're not sure if we implanted Rostam into their system or not. What we were going to try and do is gain access to the association system and then upload Rostam into it so he could take it over from the inside. Or so they could take it over from the inside. And we're not sure if that worked or not.
Okay, so I explained to her the what we know about the splitting of the AIs, and I don't know. I'm confused.
Okay. So is she. She's like, "All right, we've got a lot of catching up to do."
Also, there's this fucking guy in space. Who the
There's
hell's
a guy
this
in space?
Yeah, there's a guy in fucking space. Anyway,
All right. I'm gonna get up to speed. I hate being behind. What are you gonna work on in the meantime?
What guy in space?
Oh, hey Lee. So there's a guy in space apparently who says he's Chrome. Not Sebastian Chrome, but Chrome. He doesn't look anything like him. I think he's full of
For
shit.
when he did.
Except for when he did. Did he?
Yeah, he shifted his face back and forth a couple
Yeah.
times.
Oh, okay. I don't believe him.
So if
Anyway,
someone wants to scrub that video and see where it's being spoofed and how.
yeah, like anybody could do that. Really, it's just technology, right?
All right. So you're going to investigate the guy in space. I'm going to get up to speed.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So she stands and it's kind of shaky for a minute, and then she looks around and says, "You kept the hub going. That's good. That's real good." And she starts like making her way across the floor towards the area that was hers back when back before you guys remember. And she stops partway there and looks around for a minute, and then goes over to where Teddy is and kind of kneels next to him. And she says something kind of quietly to him, and then stands up again and goes back over to her work area. And just a few minutes after that, Teddy kind of sneaks out of his cot and goes over into that area with her and sits near her while she's opening files and reading through them. And there's this moment where you're kind of looking over at her doing her work, and it just feels very right to have her there. Like there's this one cog in the machine that was missing, and now it's starting to do its job. And there's some catching up to do, but it's starting to happen. But the machine's still broken because Chrome is gone. Boom. Okay. I think I'm inclined to stop there unless...
It's a real good ending spot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ugh. I love this game.
Excellent.
It's the best fucking game in the world.
Yeah, y'all are fantastic.
Good story.
I gotcha.
Thanks for the death scene. That was really, really awesome.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I cried for you, dick.
Well, I can't help but wonder what a younger, buffer version of himself might be.
Right?
Without 25 years of, oh God,
Indian food.
latched onto him. It's like, I can look like anybody I want. I can go wherever I want. I can do whatever I want, and no one can catch me because I'm the fucking best. Before you finally turn to those powers for good rather than...
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. I think it'd be very cool.
Get me off of this tin fucking can. I don't know if there's anything to eat up here or a place to shit.
So I think between this moment and when we play next time, there'll be a chunk of time that passes. And I think we're going to pick up in the next sort of section of this story at Atalanta Gold. And the next section of the story will happen there. So we'll do some talking about how that happened and what happened in the interim. But any loose ends that are left here on Earth that you want to wrap up, give some thought as to what you want to do. So we'll do like half a session wrap up and then half a session Atalanta Gold after the time passes. Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
Okay. So we're also going to call this a major milestone. And what that basically means is that between now and the next game, if you want to rewrite any of your character's aspects to represent growth for the character, you can do that. So, for example, if Curiosity Killed the Cat no longer really represents what's going on with Jax as a character, you can rewrite that into something different now. Something that has grown from the story that we've told together so far. Especially for Sebastian Chrome, you can rewrite everything about Chrome because he's effectively a new person. So you can apply the advancements of the minor, significant, and major milestones and then rewrite all of his aspects and see what you come up with.
Think about that.
Neat.
Yep. And so, yeah, so any character growth in how you see the character or how the character interacts with the world that you want to reflect mechanically, you can do that now.
Wow, I've never had a character go backwards.
Neat, huh?
That's fucked up.
Cool. Any other questions or loose ends people want to wrap up tonight?
You
I-
run
awesome.
such a bitchin' game.
Thank you.
So good. So good.
I mean, I've got a LARP coming up on Saturday. I'm excited to go to that LARP, but I was like more raring to go for Exocortex.
yeah,
You're just doing such a hell of a job.
yeah.
Thank you very much. I love Cyberpunk, and I love running with people who roll with it and people who add to the world and make the game better as they play. So thanks for being great players. I really appreciate it.
I was gonna be similar. I was gonna have a similar comment. Like, thank you all for just being amazing people to roleplay with. And thank you, James, for running a fucking amazing game, dude.
Yeah.
So good.
My pleasure. And thank you to chat for witnessing and for contributing and interacting. And we'll
Yeah.
try to come up with a taco fate point ratio at some point. We'll see what happens with that.
Also, fuck you, trombones, but thank you at the same time.
Yeah, thank you, Trombones, for all your suggestions. Those were great.
I think he's gone. That's all right.
Great.
All right, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up here, and we'll talk next time. Thank you all very much.
Fantastic.
Thanks,
Okay.
everyone.
See you
Take care,
later.
guys.
Bye.
Good night.
How do I stop this? Good night. Alrighty, folks. Where's my face? There it is. Hey, guys. Thank you all for being here tonight. I hope that you all had a blast. I think I experienced every emotion there was. Happiness. Food. Food is an emotion, by the way. Loss. Regret. I was everywhere. It's a goddamn roller coaster. God damn you, James. Anyway. Thank you all. This was an amazing game. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. I hope it was as fun to watch as it was to play. It continues to be an amazing experience, and I'm glad that we can share it with you guys. So, thank you for that. Thank you for hanging out to watch it. I'm going to take off. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, stay classy, and I don't know. Do something cool. I got nothing to say. I have no sign-off line. Goodbye. That was super awkward and bad. Good night, everyone.